Nowitzki limping at the other end, and Pau Gasol a reverse slam. So that would be 8 for 8 from the field for Gasol.
That time
you may press 399 to stop the event. Starting
34-26
now.
Lakers. Shot clock at 16. About 17 difference. Terry at the top. Left wing is Nowitzki. He missed the jumper. But the Mavericks come away with the offensive rebound. Nowitzki again from the left of the lane, and that one is good.
Dirk has had good looks, but he's only 3 for 7 from the field. He does have 4 free throws and a combined 10 points.
6-point Laker lead. Lakers in the front court to our right. The shot clock at 10. I make that the game clock at 10. No shot clock involved. Jordan Farmar with a 3. Good, and it was dead on, too. You can see it from our angle. Farmar connecting on the right wing. 3 seconds. Kidd, Terry with a 3 from the left. That's no good. And it's the Lakers.
We interrupt ESPN Radio for Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Sports 620 KTAR. All sports, all the time. Home of D-backs, Suns, Cards, and ASU. Sports 620 KTAR Phoenix. It's all here. D-backs baseball is on the air.
Fly ball center field hit deep. This ball is gone. And a fly ball to deep left field. Back of the warning, back of the wall.
It's time for Arizona Diamondbacks spring training baseball.
Drive to left field. That's pretty well hit. And this one's gone. Two-run homer.
Now, let's go live to the ballpark on the Arizona Diamondbacks radio network.
Park before a packed house here this afternoon. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Chicago Cubs in Cactus League spring training baseball. Hi again, baseball fans. Along with Tom Candiotti and Jeff Bunn, I'm Greg Schulte. Cubs come to town. Doesn't matter where they go, Candy. They got a big following, and that's the story today, although it's great to see all this red out here at the ballpark also.
Yeah, it's beautiful right now. Another great day in baseball here in the Cactus League, and, of course, the Cubs bring them out, but also the Diamondbacks. Everywhere we've gone this year, you know, there's been a lot of that Sedona red and also great crowds.
And if this is a regular season game, what a pitching matchup we would have for you. Brandon Webb for the Diamondbacks and Rich Harden, the starter for the Cubs. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the play-by-play here in just a moment.
Wouldn't it be great to swing a golf club with no pain or stiffness and increase your distance in just a few visits? Dr. Paul Pinozo can alleviate your pain and restore your full range of motion. He provides expert care for sports injuries, but also has highly successful treatment for muscle, nerve, bone pain, and spinal injuries. 90% of his patients are treated in about 2 weeks' time and are satisfied with the outcome. Dr. Paul Pinozo won't hand you a prescription for a bunch of narcotics to dull the symptoms. He heals your pain and injuries with a combination of physical and other therapies, including decompression treatment. He has locations in both the East and West Valley. Call Dr. Paul Pinozo, 623-776-8686. He's had a 95% success rate. With one phone call, you could be back on the par 3, pain-free after just 4 visits. Call Dr. Paul Pinozo at 623-776-8686. That's 623-776-8686.
Jeff Ron's here for the Southwestern Ice Center. You know, I was watching a game the other day, basketball game, and one of the stars got poked in the eye. And afterwards, out for the season. This has already happened to him in the preseason. He wasn't wearing any goggles. It happened to him a second time, and the retina detaches. So I started looking around the Southwestern Eye Center website at sweye.com, and I learned something very interesting. I've always wondered, how does Southwestern Eye Center specialize in so many different aspects of eye care? Cataracts, glaucoma, LASIK, plus cosmetic issues, or corneal, and detachment of the retina. How do they specialize in so many different areas? Boy, was the answer pretty simple. They have so many different doctors. It's pretty simple. They have different doctors who studied different aspects of the eye to make sure they can handle everything. So at Southwestern Eye Center, no matter what your need is when it comes to eye care, they can take care of it. Here's the phone number for your complete eye care center, 480-854-8185 for the Southwestern Eye Center.
D-backs baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Your on-site producer, engineer Leo Gilmartin, and Jordan Bird is our technical director. Let's give you the starting lineups for us for the visiting Chicago Cubs. Joey Gathright will lead it off in center field. Ryan Terrio at shortstop. Michael Oppower in left field. Jake Fox bats cleanup today, plays first base. Mike Fontenot will play at second base. He'll bat fifth, followed by Doug Deeds
In right field, Esteban Herman, recently signed by the Cubs. He'll play third base. Coy Hill, a one-time Diamondback, will bat eighth. He'll be the catcher. And on the mound pitching, it'll be the right-hander, Rich Harden. For the Diamondbacks, they line up this way. Justin Upton leads it off in right field. James Skelton at second base today. Chris Young in center field. Connor Jackson will back cleanup. He'll be in left field, followed by Chad Tracy at first base. Mark Reynolds over at third. Chris Snyder will hit seventh. He'll catch. Hitting eighth, Josh Wilson, the shortstop. And batting ninth on the mound, a 22-game winner a year ago, and runner-up in the Cy Young voting. That's Brandon Webb, the right-hander for the Diamondbacks. He's won 70 games over the last 4 seasons, most in the major leagues. And Webby out to have a good start here today and get it in gear with about half spring training over.
Absolutely. We saw John Garland, work a very nice, solid half game yesterday. Yeah. So it looks like he's on track. So I'd like to see Webby do the same thing, get on track again, and get some pretty good work in.
So we're set for an afternoon of baseball. Glad to have you with us. And the first pitch of the ball game is bunted by Gathright, but foul up the third baseline, and we are underway. Uh, 67 degrees here at game time. Although, what we're understanding, Candy, it's supposed to start hitting into the upper 80s this week. That's a little warm this time of the year.
Oh, yes, it is.
Got your shades on, not a cloud in the sky. You're ready.
Bring out your sunscreen.
Where's your scorebook today?
It's
packed away.
Exactly. I'm still waiting for Leo to give that weather broadcast.
There's a pitch outside to Gathright, a ball and a strike. Leo's got too many things on his plate as it is. Gathright came over from Kansas City, originally with Tampa Bay. He had been with the Royals since 2006. He's got a lot of speed, and there's a pitch inside. And Lou Piniella, in bringing his squad south for this ball game with the D-backs, he got a lot of guys in there who can run a little bit. Not many not many Cub regulars in the line. Ground ball back to Webb. He's got it, and his throw to first is in time for the out. One away. Very casual with that play, Brandon Webb, and Gathright can really fly down the right line, but Webb got him by about a step.
Yeah, he looked like Webb was taking his time, almost too much time, to gather himself, get out, get the ball, and make a nice throw over there. And meantime, Gathright was running about like he was in mid-season form right there.
There's Terrio. I like this kid. He's a good, solid baseball player. Looks like he's going to be part of that double play combination with Mike Fontenot this year. Mark DeRosa gone, now with Cleveland. And it looks like Fontenot is going to be the everyday second baseman, beating out Aaron Miles. Terrio, the shortstop, takes a strike from Webb, and it's 0-1. The next pitch to the right-handed batter is grounded to first to Tracy. Tracy was on the hot corner at third yesterday. Phil Discipline at first base, so retires Terrio for the second out of the inning.
Good read by Tracy, too. Terrio tried to inside out that ball, tried to go the opposite way, hit it right to Trace, and, he read that ball very nice, got himself a big hop, and got over and made the play himself.
Well, here's Micah Hoppower, their left fielder. He can also play first base. And he provides a left-handed bat for the Cubs, which they don't have a whole lot. High pop fly down the left field line. That'll drift out of play. They are very right-handed oriented in their everyday lineup. Soto, their catcher, Derek Lee, Terrio, Aramis Ramirez, Alfonso Soriano. They have Fukudome hitting left-handed, and Fontenot, a left-handed hitter. And, of course, they've added Milton Bradley, the switch hitter, but a right-handed hitting ball club.
All the way. And what did we read that the Dodgers last year did not throw one pitch from a left-handed pitcher against that club all year long because they're so predominantly right-handed.
Swing and a miss. Good off-speed there by Webb on the changeup, and Hoppower out front. Mr. 1-2. Hoppower's out of Texas, born in Fort Worth, makes his home now in Jacksonville, Texas. Big kid, 6'3", 215. And last year with the Cubs in 33 games at .342, a pair of homers, 8 runs batted in, 25 homers, and 100 runs batted in with Des Moines. Their AAA team a year ago. He fouls one up the first baseline.
Webby's looking good right now. Every ball that they've hit, has not been hard, and it's been on the ground.
And that's what he is noted for, Brandon Webb, as he has led the big leagues with a 3.22 ground ball to fly ball ratio. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Hoppower in a very easy inning. For Brandon Webb, 1-2-3 go the Cubs. Diamondbacks will look at Rich Harden in the bottom of the first inning. No score here in Tucson, the D-backs Radio Network.
A baseball field tells stories. Stories of young heroes who play with heart and an unbreakable bond that's thousands strong. See the next great chapter as the D-backs season unfolds. Get 10 tickets plus a prize food stores gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. Presented by Gila River Casinos.
This goes out to you, McDonald's McRib sandwich. I missed you, you saucy, succulent thing. I missed your tender pork, your pickles, your onions, your everything. I missed you even more every day. I missed you so much, I only wish you could stay. Just the mention of your name, my heart skips. I welcome you back with open hands and moistened lips. McRib is back for only $1.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Limited time offer. Prices and participation may vary.
Is there a little Diamondbacks fan in your house? March is National Nutrition Month, and to celebrate, Sports 620 KTAR and the Arizona Milk Producers invite you to start your day the Diamondbacks way. With the purchase of 2 gallons of milk at your local grocer, you can enter your child in to win breakfast with a Diamondbacks player at their school. Start your day the Diamondbacks way. Just head to sports.ktar.com for all of the details.
Get discounted seating in the baseline box section with the D-backs Pick 6 Premium Pack. Save big on premium seating when you bundle 6 games together. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Webby had a 1-2-3 inning for the Diamondbacks. Now Rich Harden to the hill. They got him from Oakland a year ago, the Cubs did. And in 12 starts for Chicago, he was 5-1 with a 1.77 ERA, 71 innings, 89 strikeouts, 30 walks, and only 39 hits in those 71 innings. That's dominant.
That is very dominant. He's got great stuff. He really does. Hard fastball, great splitter. Can throw a slider, but I mean, it's, he's just playing out nasty.
And his first pitch is on the outside corner to Justin Upton, who's leading off today. Strike one, no score. It'll be Upton, Skelton, and Young here in the bottom of the first for the D-backs. They got a packed house here at Tucson Electric Park. That's a little high to Upton. A ball and a strike. Justin in his second full season coming up here, and only 21 years old. The line by Harden, the 1-1 pitch to the right-handed batter is swung on and missed.
He was looking for a fastball that time. Kind of opened up his front side, looking to pull the ball, which I love to see Justin Upton do, but he got tricked that time. His Harden came up with the slider.
So Upton in the hole, ball 2 strikes. Diamondbacks are 6-8 this spring. The Cubs are 8-10. And a swing and a foul back. The defense for Chicago, hot power in left, Gathright in center, Deeds in right. Herman down at third, Terrio at short, Fondo at second, Fox at first, and Coyhill catching. Rich Harden. Our home plate umpire here today is Tony Randazzo. A 1-2 pitch from Harden to Upton. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one way off the plate. Upton's a strikeout, one away, and it's a specialty of Mr. Harden. He will strike you out.
Yeah, he will. And it looked like the impressive thing about that for Harden was that it looked like he threw a couple pretty good sliders. That's not one of his big pitches, but looked pretty good there to Upton.
Here's Skelton now, the young infielder / catcher. He's playing second base today. And the first pitch is low ball. And Felipe Lopez, playing for Puerto Rico in the WBC, had a 2-run homer off Jake Peavy in Puerto Rico's win 11-1 over the United States yesterday. He also added a double and had 3 RBIs, so it's good to see Lopez swinging the bat well. Unfortunately, it came at the USA's expense as Peavy was roughed up for 6 of those 11 runs. There's a strike on the outside corner from Harden, 2-1.
Peavy's had some tough times.
He really has.
Tough games in that WBC.
The U.S. plays the Netherlands today, and the loser of that ball game is out of the Classic. That's low, 3-1 on Skelton. Skelton, for a youngster, pretty good eye up at the plate. Makes contact, does not strike out a lot. He was a Rule 5 pickup. The Diamondbacks got him from Detroit. And the 3-1 to the left-handed batter is swung on and fouled. Look out, folks. Not much chance to react there, just beyond the Diamondback third base dugout, and all the Diamondback players in the dugout up on the top step looking to make sure everybody's okay over there. When you got a packed house like this, there's not much nowhere really for you to go, and that ball's sizzling in like that. And I think everybody's okay. They're looking down there. Skelton pops one up on the infield, playable in foul ground. And dropping the baseball is Herman. Herman was battling the sun, and that almost looked like it was more of a play for the catcher than it was the third baseman, who really came a long way down the line and toward the Diamondback dugout. And as the ball hit his glove, it hit the heel of his glove and popped out.
It was really a bad play between both third baseman and the catcher there. Coy Hill, I think you're right. It was a ball that he should have definitely been over there, and maybe get called off by the third baseman. But Herman did run a long ways for that, but he definitely should have made that play.
Herman recently signed by the Cubs. Another 3-2 pitch coming to Skelton with one out. And a foul out of play. And we'll do it again. Chris Young is on deck to supply baseballs to the home plate umpire. Well, you know the story about the Cubs. Last couple of seasons winning the Central under Lou Piniella. And then going 0-6 in divisional play. Diamondbacks swept them 2 years ago. And the Dodgers swept them last year. Skelton in the air into right field. Down the line, backing out the first baseman. That is Fox. Out is Fontenot, the second baseman, and foul ground. Fontenot will make the basket catch to retire Skelton for out number 2. That's a nice play by Fontenot there.
That was nice. He was a little like he was shaded up the middle a little bit, and that ball was way down the right field line. No way the first baseman could get it. There's no way the right fielder out there, Deeds, could get it. And Fontenot just in the last minute just kind of stuck his glove over there and went right in.
So 2 quick outs there, and here's Young. Right-handed batter, the Diamondback center fielder. Chris hitting third in the order. First pitch from Harden. And a strike is called. The Diamondbacks and the Cubs play early this year in Phoenix. Cubs will be in on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of April. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 2 night games and a day game. Young and pop foul back and out of play, strike 2. And then they will not meet again until the final 3 games of the regular season, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
It's just unbelievable. There's that big a gap.
How about that?
And we were talking to Mike Swanson yesterday from the Royals. Same way, the Yankees kind of they open the season up there, and they don't see it till the end.
Elevated fastball by Harden, and Young couldn't lay off of it. He swings through it and misses, and Harden strikes out 2 in sending the Diamondbacks down in order in the first inning. 1, 2, 3. So both pitchers perfect through 1. And after 1, here in Tucson, the Diamondbacks Cubs scoreless on the D-Backs Radio Network.
Enjoy fun and excitement right in your own backyard at Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Wequiva. Check out the stunning new Lone Butte and its elegant Verona Chop House located right off the 202 East in Kyrene. Or play at Wild Horse Pass and enjoy their all-you-can-eat buffet. Hey, we've even got you covered on the west side with Wequiva, the only place to play in the West Metro area. So when you're craving a little fun in Phoenix, think Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Wequiva. Is this your lucky day?
You know why baseball is America's favorite pastime? Because it's fun and refreshing. Fun to be away from work and chores, refreshing to be with your family without TV and video games. I mean, what's more fun than chowing down on a ballpark hot dog? Well, maybe having a refreshing ice-cold Pepsi to wash it down with. Here's to another great season of Diamondbacks baseball. Fun and refreshing, especially with a Pepsi. Always a good call. Pepsi, proud choice of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Looking for a great piping contractor with reliable manpower that employs highly skilled workers and legal citizens? I'm Jim Dinan, and my company is based in Phoenix, where we support our economy by employing local workers. My firm is signatory to Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 469. With over 80 contractors like mine employing more than 2,000 skilled workers of Local 469, we have a contractor who's right for your next project. Visit UALocal469.org for a reputable contractor. We get the jobs done right, on time, and on budget. That's UALocal469.org.
The D-Backs 10-pack plus is on sale now. Get 10 tickets plus a Fry's Food Store gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-Backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Scoreless after 1, no base runners against Webb or Harden. And went back to work. Jake Fox leads it off and sends one to center field for Chris Young. Shielding his eyes out there from the sun. 1 pitch, 1 out for Webb and a fly ball. Those are rare when Webb usually pitches. And he's on his game. First inning, he had a strikeout, 2 groundouts. And here comes Fontenot.
The one thing you really want to see Webby have right now is no struggles.
Yes.
Do it with quickly pitch, not a lot of pitches, and also get those ground balls.
That's what you're looking for, especially at this point of spring. Strike one to Fontenot. I agree with you. He looks sharp here early.
He does. And you look down at his record here over the last years, and 226 and 2/3 innings pitched last year, 236, 235, 229, he's going to be up there. So you don't want him to labor. You don't want him to throw a lot of pitches in spring.
Swing and a miss by Fontenot up over the top, and that is strike 2. Webb, since 2005, has won 14 and then 16 and then 18 and then 22. 70 victories. Nobody in baseball has won more than that over that stretch of 4 years. He'll miss inside. 1-2 to Fontenot. That's pretty impressive. You go from 14, you had 2 wins the next year, 2 the year after that, and then you add 4 last year and just missed out second year in a row on winning the Cy Young. The 1-2 to Fontenot with 1 out is high from Webb, 2-2. Webb first came up to the Diamondbacks in 2003 and broke in fine fashion at Shea Stadium. 7 shutout innings against the Mets. Swinging a ground ball back up the middle. Skelton a dive for it, but can't get it. It goes on through into right center field for a base hit by Fontenot. Up and up with it. And he'll get it back in.
Well, just another ground ball. Hit hard. Sometimes those ground balls are going to find the holes, and that's part of what happens to Webby out there. But the good thing about Webby, gets another ground ball, and it's a double play.
Yeah. So Fontenot base hit. Here's Doug Deeds, the right fielder. D-E-E-D-S. Doug Deeds. Ground ball to first. Tracy out at second. Over to first. Safe. Webb got over just a fraction late. And was feeling for the bag, and Deeds beat him there, and that'll be a fielder's choice. That'll go 3-6 as Fontenot's retired.
They almost had the double play. A nice play by Tracy, getting off the bag after holding the runner on. Got that ball right over to the shortstop, very quickly, and Wilson made a nice throw right to Webby, who was on the bag, just split second too late.
But it's exactly what you call the ground ball.
Ground ball.
Yeah.
It was that close to having a double play and getting out of the inning.
So Deeds running to first base, and there is Esteban Herman. He's playing third base today. And Webb will throw over. The one Achilles heel for Webb has been the running game against him. Not real good at holding runners, a little slow to the plate. And teams will take advantage of that when they get runners on and put them in motion. We'll see if Lou Piniella does it here. Not going to the first one, and Webb throws a strike to Herman. Now, there are ways for Webb to get around that and stop that running game. That's just by holding the baseball, throwing over, doing some different things.
And Webby could be a lot quicker to the plate, but his stuff suffers when he is. Because, he's a guy that has to stay close, and he needs deception. That's how he's going to get movement on his ball.
He gets a strike in there, and it's 1-2 on Herman. You've talked about it before. A lot of times he'll come out and maybe throw 91, 92, and you'll say, maybe not so good to throw that hard right now. He needs to throw that velocity down a little bit.
Absolutely. He can throw the ball harder than he does, but you start losing that movement.
Well, a good sinker there, and right up over the top. Herman, he strikes out. Webb gives up a hit, but gets a second strikeout. Cubs leave him, man. We'll go to the bottom of the second here at TEP, Tucson Electric Park. Diamondbacks and Cubs scoreless on the D-Backs Radio Network.
My business used to be all over the place. Checking account for tax payments here, another account for merchant services there, and a credit card for air miles someplace else. Then I talked with Desert Schools Federal Credit Union. They helped me streamline my business needs into one location. Now, I've got the time to be more hands-on, doing what I love. Thanks, Desert Schools.
Desert Schools offers real solutions for your business. No prepayment penalties, better rates, and local decisions. Today, tomorrow, together. To learn more, click desertschools.org.
Accounts insured by the NCUA.
This is Jason Johnson. I am on location here at Harbor Freight Jewel's incredible parking lot sale. I got to tell you, it's pretty wild here. The sale is going on right now through Sunday. There are thousands of items that have been discounted as much as 76%. There's a guy walking past me here with a huge bag. Sir, what do you have in there?
It's a 4.5-inch angle grinder.
How much was it?
$9.99. It's half off.
It's like they're giving these tools away. Hey, what's that?
That's a 4-piece tongue and groove joint plier set.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I saved $5. Cost me $9.99.
That's amazing. Sir, what do you have in the box there?
It's a 500-watt portable halogen shop light. It was like $8.99. Couldn't believe it.
With deals like this and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, I can see why so many people are grabbing these unheard-of deals. Stop by Harbor Freight this weekend and get these great deals while they last. Harbor Freight Tools in Phoenix, Phoenix Northeast, Mesa, Glendale, Tempe, and Apache Junction.
Harbor Freight Tools, the right tool for every job. And a shipload of savings, too. Visit the official online shop of the Arizona Diamondbacks at dbacks.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic spring training gear, including clubhouse caps, T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your spring training gear straight from this source. Shop at dbacks.com.
D-backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second. Glad to have you aboard for Diamondbacks Baseball this afternoon on the D-backs Radio Network. Connor Jackson, Chad Tracy, Mark Reynolds against Rich Hardner. Struck out 2 in the first inning. Jackson, the cleanup hitter, and the Diamondback left fielder as he strolls to the plate. Diamondbacks had a big day yesterday in their victory in surprise over Kansas City, pounding out 18 hits and 11 runs. First one from Harden. And Jackson in the air into right center. Deeds is under it. And 1 pitch, 1 out here. Well, the first pitch swinging against these 2 outstanding National League pitchers, Harden and Webb.
They get a pitch and swing, right? Put the ball in play.
Here's Chad Tracy. Trace played third yesterday, playing first base today, and he had a nice day at plate. A double and a single and a couple of runs back. And the Diamondbacks did very well, especially the left-handed hitters taking the ball the other way yesterday.
Yeah, they put on a clinic. Offense is gaining some momentum.
Strike 1 here from Harden. Harden looks to be number 4 in the rotation right now for the Cubs. That's how good a rotation they've got. Zambrano, Dempster, and Lily Harden. And then either Sean Marshall or Aaron Heilman. Tracy just didn't quite get enough of it. Hits it off the end of the bat. And the right fielder Deeds comes in and makes a catch for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here. Kevin Gregg and Carlos Marmol are in the battle for closer. And if you're Lou Piniella and you hear these 2 comments from the 2 guys, who are you choosing? One said, whatever they want me to do, I don't care. I'm glad to be on the team. The other one says, I want it. I want to close. Which one are you taking?
Could have given the ball.
That's Kevin Gregg who said, I want it. I want to close. Strike 1 here to Mark Reynolds. Gregg was the closer in Florida last couple of years. 61 saves over 2 seasons. And he's pitched pretty well this spring. There's a high delivery from Harden, 1-1.
Yeah, he was stuck there behind K-Rod for a little bit, I think, with the Angels, and got his opportunity last year.
Got a chance to move on to Florida. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Reynolds, and he hits one in the air on the right. Busy afternoon for Mr. Deeds. And he's got it. Side retired. Money's in the 3rd inning. I had 2 cakewalks here in the first 2 innings. The Diamondbacks and Cubs scoreless in Tucson of the D-backs Radio Network.
If you hear this melody at the ball game and think, I better get to the concession stand before they stop selling beer, we suggest you consider the following lyrics. Get me home from the ball game. I don't think I should drive. I've had a few beers and some bratwurst. I'm afraid that someone may just get hurt. I won't get behind the wheel. Instead, I will use my cell phone. So it's not 1, 2, 3 beers. I'm out on the old drive home. The Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety and the Arizona DUI Task Force remind you not to drink and drive. If you do, expect the max.
Vegas is on sale at Vegas.com. Now get up to 30% off select Vegas hotels. Call 1-800-LAS-VEGAS or visit Vegas.com now. Vegas.com has the best Vegas hotels, top shows, Grand Canyon tours, front-of-line passes to the hottest nightclubs in Vegas, and much more. Don't wait. Call the Vegas experts now at 1-800-LAS-VEGAS or go to Vegas.com today. Vegas.com. Do Vegas right.
A baseball field tells stories. Stories of young heroes who play with heart and an unbreakable bond that's thousands strong. See the next great chapter as the D-backs season unfolds. Get 10 tickets plus a prize food source gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. Presented by Gila River Casinos.
The D-Backs 10-Pack Plus is on sale now. Get 10 tickets plus a Fry's Food Store gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-Backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Hi there. We go to the third inning at Tucson Electric Park with no score, along with Tom Candiotti and Greg Schulte. I'm Jeff Munn. At least that's what it says on my driver's license. And Brandon Webb goes to work in the third. Hello, Mr. Candiotti.
Buddy, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you.
You're looking great.
Thank
Lost
you.
a lot of weight, huh?
I haven't lost that much. A little. But not as much as you might think. We go to the third. Coy Hill will lead it off. Rich Harden in the on-deck circle. Brandon Webb and Rich Harden both looking like they're ready to go right now. And the first pitch to Hill is high and outside, ball one.
Well, isn't the game just move along nicely when the pitchers are on top of their game?
Yeah.
You know, making their pitches, you know, getting the outs, getting the ground balls.
The 1-0 is low to Hill, 2 balls and no strikes. For the Cubs, they had a man left on in the second. A base hit by Fontenot. Webb's 2-0 pitch high and outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Coy Hill, the one-time Diamondback, came over to Arizona in the deal in 2004 that sent Steve Finley to the Dodgers at the trade deadline. 3-0 pitch is a strike called.
Yeah, worked through the grapevine. And Steve Finley, you know, still wants to play this game and still trying to find a place to play. A lot of guys like that out there.
I was going to say, you better get in line. The 3-1 pitch is a strike called, 3-2 to Hill. There's a lot of guys out there that are still looking for work.
There you go. Luis Gonzalez, one of those guys still looking for work.
We talked about Pudge Rodriguez last weekend.
Pedro, right?
Yep. Payoff pitch, ground ball to the right side. Right to Skelton. Sets, throws in time to get Hill. 1 down. I believe we owe you a station break. So let's take it right here and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
All sports, all the time. Home of D-Backs, Suns, Cards, and ASU. Sports 620 KTAR Phoenix. It's all here.
1 down, bases empty. Third inning, no score. Rich Harden takes strike 1 from Brandon Webb. Saw where reading the papers in L.A. when I was there for about an hour on Friday that Ned Colletti is curious about Pedro Martinez. There's a swing and a foul back by Harden, 0-2. I don't know what that means, curious. Either they're interested in him or they're not. And considering
they're exploring the possibilities.
Well, you know what? That's not a bad idea for the Dodgers. To me, the one thing that is a question mark about that club going into 2009 is their starting pitching. There's a pitch low to Harden, 1-2.
So apparently Ned Colletti thinks that Pedro would help that starting pitching rotation out.
Might. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, a tapper back to the mound. Nice grab by Webb. Tosses to Tracy. 2 down in the Cub third.
Boy, another easy tapper for Webby. Just got him to turn over. Just a little one-hopper coming up between the pitcher's mound and first base. Got off the mound nicely. Made the nice flip to Tracy.
So 2 down, bases empty for Jody Gathright. Gathright last year with Kansas City. Greg mentioned earlier about the lack of right-handed or left-handed bats in the Cubs 25-man roster. Gathright lifts a fly ball into shallow center that's going to drop in front of Young for a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Brian Terrio. And Gathright can also steal you some bases, so if he makes the squad, and there are a lot of people looking for jobs in the outfield in Chicago, he gives Lou Piniella a lot of options. Brian Terrio grounded to Chad Tracy in the first inning. Gathright gets a lead away from first. Tracy holds him there.
Boy, how managers love to have options.
Yes, they do. Well, the Diamondbacks with James Skelton playing at second base today, they're trying to get a look at Skelton at a variety of positions because obviously as a Rule 5 guy, they want to try to keep him on the 25-man. If he can show that he can play the infield and the outfield, it helps his chances. There's a pitch inside to Terrio, 1-0. Especially in the National League. The more things you can do for a club off the bench, the better your chances of being on that roster.
boy, especially when you're, one of the utility guys and you can play multitude positions.
There's a strike on the inside corner to Terrio, 1-1.
Particularly if you can switch hit.
And
you can switch hit and you can play a number of positions, you're always going to have a spot. So all those little kids out there, learn how to switch hit and play a bunch of positions. You're in there.
Especially if you end up in the National League. It doesn't hurt in the American League either, but it's especially true in the National. Gathright goes, a pitch out. Snyder's throw to Skelton is not in time as Gathright gets in safely, and the ball skipped away from Skelton a bit. So Gathright in there with a stolen base, and the count to Terrio, 2-1.
And that's going to happen with Webby on the mound. I don't care if there's just 1 out, no outs, or even 2 outs. They're going to run off because he's slow to the plate, and they also want to stay out of, when there's less than 2 outs, those double plays.
Third stolen base of the spring and 4 tries for Gathright. Now Webb's 2-1 to Terrio is low, 3-1. No score, third inning. Gathright at second, 2 down. A full house here at TEP. The 3-1. That's a strike at the knees. Now Webb back on top. Looks down for a sign from Snyder. Gathright away from second. Right-hander comes set, looks at second. The 3-2 to Terrio is just off the plate outside. So Terrio gets himself a walk. First and second with 2 down for Mitch Hoffpower. Did I say Mitch? Micah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've got too many. I was sending an email earlier today, somebody named Mitch. That's my excuse. And I'm sticking with it. Now here is Micah Hoffpower. He hit .342 in 33 games at the big league level last year. Webb's first pitch to him here is swung on, a fly ball into fairly deep center. Going back on it is Young. Looks up. It is out of here for a 3-run homer from Micah Hoffpower.
Well, the limited time that he had with the Cubs last year, he made the best out of it. Like you said, he had a very, very good limited time, and that time he took Webby. He doesn't give up that many home runs. Looked like a fastball. Looked like it was up a little bit. He shot that ball out of the park to deep center field.
So it is 3-0 Cubs. Hoffpower's third home run of the year. Runs his RBI total on the spring to 13. And that'll bring up Jake Fox. Webb delivers a pitch grounded foul over the Diamondbacks dugout, third base side. The way the Cubs opening day outfield would potentially look is the 0-1 is in the dirt to Fox, 1-1. You would start with Soriano in left. There's some question about center between Ukadome, Reed Johnson. They got to find room for Milton Bradley in right, I would think. The 1-1 is outside, 2 balls and a strike to Fox. There will be some pretty good outfielders that are either going to be sitting on the bench at Wrigley Field or getting real familiar with people in Des Moines, Iowa.
Well, the 3 people you mentioned right there, I can't imagine any of those guys going to Iowa.
There's a shot down the left field line by Fox that rolls into the corner, makes the turn, heads for second as Jackson plays the carom, and Fox is in standing with a 2-out double. So after Webb retired the first 2 men on ground balls, a single, a walk, a 3-run homer, and a double to left field.
And again, that walk is always the killer. Ontario put a pretty good bat on it, too, and worked that walk, but set the table. And then all it takes is one mistake pitch that they capitalize on, and bam, that's what happened, 3 runs.
So now here's Mike Fontenot. And Webb out of a stretch delivers to Fontenot, and it is low, ball 1. Fontenot's got a pretty good shot at being the opening day second baseman. If that's the case, he would be teaming with his college teammate, Ryan Theriot, in all likelihood, to form the middle infield for the Cubs. He, too, a left-handed batter. The 1-0 is swung on and fouled at the plate. 1-1.
Well, as Greg was mentioning earlier, the Cubs went through a big transition in the offseason. Lost a lot of guys, added a few pieces, but it seemed like they lost an awful lot more guys than they added.
There's been a whole lot of talk about how much of a setback it's going to be for the Cubs to have lost Mark DeRosa as a pitch is low, 2-1 to Fontenot.
We're losing Kerry Wood, losing Bobby Howry. I mean, there's a lot of guys that exited.
They're having to reshuffle the roles in the bullpen. I know you were talking about that a couple innings ago, or an inning ago. Kevin Gregg and Carlos Marmol fighting for the closer's job. The 2-1 to Fontenot is low, 3 balls and a strike. Nothing Chicago, top of the third. Micah Hoffpower with a 3-run homer just to the right of the batter's eye in center. And Webb with a 3-1 to Fontenot, and it swung on and grounded foul outside of first. We are playing the Cubs, aren't we? Who is that guy? Ronnie Wu? I see you made the trip. Now that we've heard from him, the 3-2 to Fontenot is a ground ball right side scooped up by Tracy. He'll jog to the first base bag. That'll retire the side, but the Cubs get 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors, they leave a man. We go to the bottom of the third in Tucson. 3-0 Chicago.
Want to do something to protect the environment? Get in the game. Hi, I'm Steve Nash. Did you know that you can choose to have your electricity generated from green resources like wind, geothermal, and solar? It's true. At APS, they're called Green Choice Rate Plans. My family signed up for one, and yours can too. All you have to do is visit APS.com to find the Green Choice Rate Plan that's right for you. A better tomorrow starts today, together with APS.
Enjoy fun and excitement right in your own backyard at Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Vequeva. Check out the stunning new Lone Butte and its elegant Verona Chop House located right off the 202 East in Kyrie. Or play at Wild Horse Pass and enjoy their all-you-can-eat buffet. Hey, we've even got you covered on the west side with Vequeva, the only place to play in the West Metro area. So when you're craving a little fun in Phoenix, think Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Vequeva. Is this your lucky day?
Is there a little Diamondbacks fan in your house? March is National Nutrition Month, and to celebrate, Sports 620 KTAR and the Arizona Milk Producers invite you to start your day the Diamondbacks way. With the purchase of 2 gallons of milk at your local grocer, you can enter your child in to win breakfast with a Diamondbacks player at their school. Start your day the Diamondbacks way. Just head to sports.ktar.com for all of the details.
Get discounted seating in the baseline box section with the D-Backs Pick 6 Premium Pack. Save big on premium seating when you bundle 6 games together. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-Backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Bottom of the third, 3-0 Cubs. Micah Hoffpower's 3-run homer in the top of the third inning got the Cubs on the board, and Chris Snyder will lead off the Diamondbacks third against Rich Harden, who looks pretty good. And his first pitch to Snyder is a strike called. Talking with Lorenzo Bundy, who has rejoined the Diamondbacks as their first base coach and outfield coach this year, as the 0-1 from Harden is swung on a fly ball into fairly deep left. Going back on it is Hoffpower. See you later. Chris Snyder reaches the berm. And too many people having to run for to get that ball with a full house, and it's 3-1 Cubs, bottom of the third.
Hard with great stuff, good velocity on his fastball, but left that ball up over the plate, right in an area where Snyder can extend his arms, and he caught it squarely and sent it out of there.
Snyder's second home run of the spring. I was going to say that Lo Bundy, who was on the Diamondbacks coaching staff in 2004, reminded me that that difficult season had some silver linings to it, and Snyder was one of them. Josh Wilson, batting eighth today, takes a strike. Coy Hill was up with the big club as soon as that trade with the Dodgers was made, but he broke his ankle in a collision with Ty Wigginton of the Pirates, middle of August. The 0-1. That's low and away. So Hill goes down. They got to find a catcher, and they bring up a guy from Double-A named Chris Snyder. Now, Snyder would have eventually found his way to the big leagues anyway, but it's funny how the course of history has changed just a little bit by somebody getting hurt. 1-1 pitch is high and in to Wilson, 2-1.
Well, think of the road how Mark Reynolds got here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty amazing story. Both there's a couple guys ahead of him. They were both hurt by the time, Tracy got hurt. They called him up, and look what he, ran into.
Same kind of deal. Wilson swings and misses 2-2.
Always be ready. They preach that in the minor leagues. Once you get to Double-A, always be ready. You're one phone call away.
2-2 pitch is high and away, a full count. Wilson batting .346 on the spring. The payoff pitch from Harden's upstairs. So Wilson gets a walk, and Brandon Webb will come to the plate. That's it. It's true what you say about players down at Double-A, where you don't normally think a lot about guys who are at Double-A, but Double-A, it really in the last 15 or 20 years has become as much of a springboard for guys to the majors as Triple-A. Infielders come in, Webb shows and takes outside, ball one.
A lot of times Double-A is stacked with prospects, and the reason I say that is that you get into Double-A, you're this prospect. Triple-A is guys that have been to the big leagues and down, a lot of insurance policies, and also prospects too that need to get to a next level, but slowly. But when you start seeing guys like Upton and guys that have come from Double-A, he's a can't-miss guy. He's a top prospect. They're going to pluck those guys from Double-A when there's an opportunity, as long as they're playing well.
Webb bunts foul outside of first, so the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Wilson will lead away, held on at first by Fox. The third baseman, Herman, in from third. Webb squares, takes low, 2-1. There have been a lot of instances over the years when Phoenix had a Triple-A club before the Diamondbacks arrived. There were a lot of players, and they were a Giants affiliate for years, but there were a lot of Giants stars. As Webb bunts it up the first baseline, not too far, out to get it is Hill, throws to first, where the second baseman Fontenot covers. The sacrifice goes 2-4. Wilson to second, 1 down.
Very nice job by Webby. Harden, a hard thrower, threw that ball up and away where you want to throw it when a guy's trying to sacrifice, and Webby still did a nice job, bunting the top part of the ball to make sure that ball goes down, deaden it nicely down the first baseline.
So 1 down for Justin Upton. Just to complete that thought, especially the last 10 years or so that the Giants AAA club was in Phoenix, there was a lot of great players for the Giants that never saw AAA. First one that comes to mind is Will Clark. He never played a day at AAA. They called him up from AA, and he was there for good.
Yeah, top prospect, and, he's ready.
Ground ball down the third baseline, a fair ball that gets past Herman and rolls down the left field line. Wilson turns third, he'll score. Justin Upton an RBI double, and it's 3-2 Cubs in the third.
Yeah, Upton hitting that leadoff spot, got a chance with the guy on second base and turned on the ball. I think we're seeing Upton do this more and more right now as he gets more comfortable with pitches and for pitchers. Being able to use the whole field. It looked like he was kind of limited a lot last year from center field to the right field line. Starting to see him clear out a little bit more and take some chances at pulling that ball.
8th RBI of the spring for Justin Upton. And he's in scoring position with 1 down for James Skelton, who popped in foul territory to Fontenot in the first inning. 3-2 Chicago, bottom of the third. A swing, a little liner in the left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Upton can only get as far as third. Skelton a single. And that puts runners at the corners with 1 out for Chris Young.
Well, we've been saying that they've, been gaining a lot of momentum offensively, swinging the bat well, and you're starting to see it right now against, one of the better pitchers in the National League, and Rich Harden.
team with a .300 batting average on the spring coming into today. And we talked before the ball game today about how last 2 days the Diamondback hitters have just been wearing it out offensively against the Mariners and Royals. Now here is Young, who struck out in the first inning. Harden sets, delivers to him, and it's in there for a strike, 0-1. So 3-2. All the scoring to this point in the third inning. Up into third, Skelton at first, Harden to Young. It swung on and popped a foul off to the right out of play. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, when you have the Cubby fans come here, it's never a quiet crowd.
No. And it's not too empty either. That's the thing that gets me. I looked at some of the attendance figures for their games in Mesa. And if there's really a concern about attendance at Cactus League games, Mesa didn't get the memo. There's a swing and a miss by Young. Down he goes on strikes for the second time against Harden. 2 down in the inning for Connor Jackson.
Boy, that's not what Chris Young wanted right there. Guys on first and third, especially that guy on third base, tying run. I mean, you want to get him in. And, you know, that's the time when the D-backs need to cut down on the strikeouts, is when there's guys in scoring position like that where you need to put the ball in play.
So now Connor Jackson, who flied to right his first time up. Runners at the corners, 2 down, 2 runs in, 3-2 Cubs in the third, and Harden's pitch to Jackson is in there for a strike at the knees. Chris Snyder led this inning off with a solo home run. Wilson walked. Webb sacrificed him to second. Upton doubled him home. And Skelton with a single to move Upton to third before Young struck out. Harden with the 0-1. That's low and away, a ball and a strike. Up in the Bay Area a couple of weeks ago, went by Cal Berkeley. Connor Jackson's name plastered all over the wall in left field. Big start for the Golden Bears. I'm still trying to get into the gym at St. Mary's to find your number. I know it's there. There's a pitch outside, 2-1 to Connor Jackson. They just won't let me in.
I heard SMC might even make that, the brackets. They might be in.
They might.
Everyone's got them in there. Look out, Galloping Gales.
You see what they did Friday? They just played another game. It was on the schedule. They just played another game after their conference tournament. Pitch inside to Jackson, 3-1.
How's their women's team, by the way?
I have no idea. We're not talking about that. See, now I'm a step ahead of you today. The 3-1. That's low, ball 4, and they're loaded for Chad Tracy. Skelton moves down to second. Second walk issued today by Rich Harden, second this inning, as a matter of fact. And now here's Tracy, who flied to right his first time up. And Larry Rothschild, Cubs pitching coach, will go out and talk to Harden.
He just wants to give him a breather right here. He's had a longer inning than he's had. Really just cruised through the first 2 innings. And you just give him a breather right now, make sure he's all right.
This is just the second start in the spring for Harden. And given his history of injury problems, a lot of people in Chicago, and you know how Cub fans are, they worry about everything. When he wasn't pitching the first week or so of spring training, there was immediately panic buttons getting pushed all over Chicago about what's wrong with Rich Harden. He just said, no, I'm fine. Nothing to worry about. So here's Tracy.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get that reputation of being a pitcher that always breaks down at some point during the season.
There's a pitch upstairs to Tracy, 1-0. Doesn't help matters for Harden that he's operating in a town that is still a little sensitive when it comes to pitchers with potential. Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood. Now you get somebody who's really effective and he starts developing problems with his shoulder, that is going to make people a little jittery.
Well, they knew the MO on Harden when they got him.
Yeah.
They knew that he was an injury risk, but also a huge reward if he's healthy.
And the pitch upstairs to Tracy, 2-0. And he was a reward. 5-1 for the Cubs after the trade, a 1.77 ERA.
And that was kind of the battle that was going on between the Brewers and the Cubs. The Brewers ended up getting Sabathia, so the Cubs counted. They got Harden. And both pitches were outstanding for both clubs.
The 2-0 is upstairs, 3-0 to Tracy, and Harden's a pitch away from walking in a run that would tie the game. Upton at third, Skelton at second, Jackson at first. 2 runs in, 3-2 Cubs, bottom of the third. Harden's 3-0 to Tracy. Is high and outside. He has walked in a run, and that ties it at 3. And Lou Piniella says that's enough. We'll go ahead and make a move right here. They had a right-hander getting ready anyway. And so before it gets too much worse, they're going to go ahead and make the move. So before Mark Reynolds climbs in to become the 9th man to bat here in the Diamondbacks' third, a pitching change. We're in Tucson with the bases loaded, 2 out in a 3-3 tie. We're back after this on the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Mark Waddles, owner of Ultimate Electronics. There's still time to get that new HD TV you always wanted, so you can watch the best of college hoops in all its glory. To save you time and money, we shop Best Buy and Walmart every single day, and then immediately adjust our prices to be lower. And right now, we've got some incredible one-time specials like a 65-inch Mitsubishi 1080p for under $1,300.
Ultimate Electronics. Go anywhere else, and you'll pay too much.
Ma'am, I need you to slow down and tell me exactly what you saw.
Okay, officer. Well, he had these crazy, huge eyes, and they just stared at me.
About how tall?
About 3 inches high, 6 inches wide. I think he was made of money, and he just stared.
Ma'am, that was the money you could be saving with Geico.
No, it wasn't.
Did you hear this music when you saw him?
Yes!
Have a good day, man.
Geico. To get a free rate quote, go to geico.com. Then buy online, over the phone, or at your local office.
Geico is not just some insurance company. They are the insurance company that covers all your car insurance needs. And Geico is not a new upstart company either. They've been around for over 70 years. Geico also isn't relying on just its heritage. Standard & Poor's has consistently awarded Geico a AAA rating for financial strength. And Geico is not bragging. Yeah, all right, maybe a little.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you hundreds on car insurance.
D-backs baseball. Sports 620 KTAR.
Right-hander Kevin Hart. We were talking about Mark Pryor a moment ago. Kevin Hart's got his old number, 22. 6'4" right-hander out of Cleveland, Ohio. Now lives in Plano, Texas. Pitched in 21 games at the major league level last year, a 2-2 record. And he also, part of those 27 2/3 innings came against the Diamondbacks. That would have had to have been in the series at Wrigley Field in May. And he comes on here in relief of Rich Hart. And he will face Mark Reynolds with the bases loaded, 2 down, and a 3-3 tie in the 3rd inning. And he's got to look at him throw. It reminds you of Pryor a lot. Comes kind of over the top, doesn't it?
And this is a big opportunity for Mark Reynolds also. This is where he really thrives in these situations. Bases loaded right now, 2 outs, a new pitcher coming in. It's a little bit jittery out there. This is a good opportunity for Reynolds to really put a good bat on here.
Reynolds flying to right his first time up. He's got Skelton at third, Jackson at second, Tracy at first. Hart sets, delivers to him. Low and away. This is one of those at-bats you talk about where a guy can start crossing off pitches almost before he climbs in the box.
Well, he started off with a breaking ball right there, and Reynolds didn't bite on it. So now he has seen that. The more pitches you see every at-bat, the better chance you have of getting the pitch and eliminating pitches, like you said.
The 1-0. Swung on, popped up foul, backing out of play.
That's a pitch right there. You know that, Hart has to come in. He has to throw a strike right there, so he's geared up for a fastball. He got it. He just fouled it off. Hate to see him miss those pitches with the bases juiced.
Yeah. And Hart, even though being the type of pitcher he is, you'd figure he's pretty confident with his fastball. It's a whole different deal pitching to a guy with Reynolds' kind of power. The 1-1. Swung on, foul back again.
See, now he gets to the point where Mark has missed 2 pitches that are very hittable, and they were both fastballs, and now it's 1 and 2. So now Hart he has expanded the strike zone, and now, for Mark Reynolds, in his mind, you can't eliminate pitches. You have to become a little bit more of a defensive hitter. And this is a situation, we talked to him early this spring, that he wants to cut a swing down and hit the ball to right center. Try to stay inside the ball, try to make contact.
And he swings and misses on a breaking pitch here. And the Diamondbacks are done in the third. They get the game even with 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave them loaded. We go to the fourth. Gregory joins us in the 4th inning. It's 3-3.
Wake up with Doug and Wolf.
Dick Vitale joining Doug and Wolf.
The reason I like the conference tournaments because we hear the cry all the time. Really, everybody is in the tournament with the exception of the Ivy League because everybody gets that one last hurrah, that one last moment to try to win their tournament. They said, Doug and Wolf, 2 guys who look like my backcourt when I coached the Pistons, and that's why I got fired.
Doug and Wolf, mornings 5 to 9, Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here.
If you've been waiting for 30-year fixed rates to come down into the low 5s, the wait is over. For a limited time, First Option Lending is able to offer a 30-year fixed rate as low as 5%, with an APR as low as 5.9. Don't wait. In this yo-yo economy, rates could shoot back up into the 6s literally overnight. Call First Option Lending right now. Finally, you can eliminate your credit card bills, skip your next 2 mortgage payments, and pay off other debt. Stimulate your economy with extra cash in your pocket every month. Please don't wait. This 5% rate is subject to immediate change. Call First Option Lending now or apply online in minutes at firstoptiononline.com. First Option Lending, 480-751-3400, 751-3400.
First Option Lending, the people you call first.
480-751-3400.
All sports, all the time, son. Cards, facts, ASU, Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here. D-backs baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
4th inning in Tucson. Rejoined by Greg Schulte, Jeff Munn, Tom Candiotti also here with us today, as he always is. Leo Gilmartin, our on-site producer engineer.
Except when he goes to Mexico and abandons us.
Well, Leo's got his own deal going. Doug Deeds leads off the Cub 4th, and he takes on the outside corner for a strike from Brandon Webb. Jordan Bird, our technical director. Both teams with 3-run 3rd innings, and Deeds grounds 1 foul outside of first, and we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
All sports, all the time. Home of D-backs, Suns, Cards, and ASU. Sports 620 KTAR Phoenix. It's all here.
The 0-2 to Deeds, a strike 3 called at the knees.
Well, he's looked good. I mean, Candy went back. You don't want to watch somebody, and the walk preceded the 3-run home run by Hoffpower, but his ball club's gotten him back into it now, and he's been right around the plate, save for the 1 walk to Terrio.
So 1 down, and here is Esteban Herman. The Cubs signed him on Friday after he got let go by the Kansas City Royals, and he played against Seattle on Friday. Shows bunt, bunts it foul outside of third.
Somewhere along the line, we were talking about this at lunch today, you would have thought that the Cubs would have run into a World Series. Not to be in one since 1908 just is totally baffling.
That's the one that gets me. It isn't just that they haven't won one. They haven't been in one since 45, right?
Yeah. But 08 was the last time they won it. And they'd won in, 2 straight years at that time. And I bet you if you were a betting man in 08, you should have been 101 years.
Nope. There's a strike called to Herman. No balls, 2 strikes. And it hasn't been for a lack of trying.
Came close in 84.
Webb with the 0-2. Swung on, a high chopper just left of the mound. Webb off the mound to get it. Has to make a quick throw to first to get Herman. In time, 2 down in the inning.
I tell you what, that was a nice play right there by Webb. And that's a play a couple years ago he probably doesn't make. He had to hustle in. It was a tapper. And Webby had to reach, and at the same time as he was picking up the baseball, setting himself to throw it, threw it hard and threw a strike over to Tracy at first base. That was a nice play there by Webby.
Indeed it was. 2 down for Coy Hill. Hill grounded to second his first time up, and Webb's pitch to him is swung on and missed. You figure all the things the Cubs have done in terms of hiring big-time managers like a Dusty Baker or a Lou Piniella, all the free agents they've signed. The 0-1 is low, a ball and a strike. And yet, you just take the last 2 years. A club that had seemingly everything. Great pitching, great offense. 0-6 the last 2 years in the postseason.
And didn't hit worth a lick.
Nope. Check swing low on a pitch to Hill. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, I wish we had TV replay of that. It looked like it was right over the plate. But talk about disappointment, utter disappointment.
I think last year's in a lot of ways was worse. The 2-1 is a strike call, 2-2. Obviously, we had an up-close view of things in 07, and you just kind of had the feeling that once the Diamondbacks got Ted Lilly in Game 2, that series was over. Maybe not in 3 straight, but you knew the Diamondbacks were in control. A pitch low to Hill, 3-2. But
and that side of Lilly throwing that glove to the ground
after Chris
will
Young
always be remembered.
But then last year, against the Dodgers, not to be able to hit and not to be able to win a game when you had the home field. The payoff pitch to Hill swung on and fouled back.
Well, and go back to 2 years when the Diamondbacks had won the first 2 at Chase. They head home to Wrigley, and the place was just noisy as all get out.
I remember.
And Chris Young hits the very first pitch of the ball game into the bleachers in left center.
Webb winds, another 3-2 to Coy Hill. That's taken low. And that's the second walk issued by Brandon Webb this afternoon. And Kevin Hart will get a chance to climb in the box here.
And we talked about Livan Hernandez and the bases loaded situation. Was that 6th inning?
Either the 5th or the 6th.
In the game at Wrigley, and that place, it was as noisy as any outside arena or ballpark, stadium, whatever, that you'd ever want to be in. And when DeRosa hit into the double play and the Cubs hit into 5 that game, you could hear somebody out in the left field drop a pin to the cement. It was that quiet.
There's a strike called to Hart. In all the places that you and I collectively have been over our professional careers, I don't ever remember a place that it was almost as if it was a volume control and they just hit the off switch. There's a pitch up and in, 1-1 to Hart.
And everybody just kind of sat down in their seat and
they knew. See you next year.
Yep.
3-3 in the 4th. Hill at first with 2 down. And the pitch to Hart is low, 2-1. And the Cubs certainly the pick of most to win the Central again.
I think they'll run away with it.
Yeah.
You know, some people are saying maybe I think the Cubs will just run away with the division. Cincinnati might be the surprise in that division.
Yeah, a lot of people like the way that a lot of those young players are coming up and helping out. The 2-1 to Hart is upstairs, 3-1. The Cardinals, to me, just have too many question marks. I mean, if all the answers to those questions were yes, then sure. They might make a go of it. Obviously, Milwaukee will fade back a bit, having lost Sabathia and Sheets. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen, 3-2 to Hart. Houston's got question marks aplenty.
Don't figure Pittsburgh to be.
No. It's going to take them a little bit more time. Second year of a new regime in the front office.
They've been saying that for about 20 years now, haven't they?
Yeah. Tracy will play in back of Hill now with a full count and 2 down. Hill can take off on this pitch. He does, and Hart looks at strike 3 call. So the Cubs get a 2-out walk, nothing else. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and Tucson tied at 3.
Enjoy fun and excitement right in your own backyard at Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Bequeva. Check out the stunning new Lone Butte and its elegant Verona Chop House located right off the 202 East in Kyrene. Or play at Wild Horse Pass and enjoy their all-you-can-eat buffet. Hey, we've even got you covered on the west side with Bequeva, the only place to play in the West Metro area. So when you're craving a little fun in Phoenix, Think Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Vequiva. Is this your lucky day?
Do you work in the piping industry as a certified pipe welder, licensed plumber, or service technician? I'm Jim Dinan, and my company was founded here in Phoenix. We're among the more than 80 piping contractors that employ the highly skilled and trained craft persons from Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 469. Our manpower is paid a fair wage for a fair day's work, with health insurance and 2 pensions. Does your employer pay your benefits? If they don't, you need to visit ualocal469.org. Not all contractors in Phoenix are unscrupulous and unsafe. Visit ualocal469.org.
This Wednesday, between 11 and 1, AM/PM is giving you a taste of a cheeseburger to remember. It's a juicy bite of happiness for nothing down and nothing a lump. So if you didn't get everything you wanted for lunch, you can still get yourself a little extra something for nothing. Don't miss this Wednesday, a once-in-a-lifetime cheeseburger sampling event. Because shouldn't every cheeseburger be one to remember?
AM/PM, too much good stuff.
At participating stores, limit 1 sample per customer for a limited time while supplies last.
Visit the official online shop of the Arizona Diamondbacks at dbacks.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic spring training gear, including clubhouse caps, T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your spring training gear straight from this source. Shop at dbacks.com.
D-backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Bottom of the 4th, tied at 3. A reminder that the D-backs 10-pack plus, I knew I had trouble with that, is on sale now. Get 10 tickets plus a Fry's Food Stores gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. 10-pack plus. I got it.
I've already had trouble with that.
Yeah, it's not nice to do that to people in spring training.
There you go, Leo. We read it.
Chris Snyder, Josh Wilson. And then the pitcher's spot with a right-hander loosening in the Diamondbacks bullpen here in the 4th inning, tied at 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking Webby's probably threw after 4. He upped his pitch total in the 3rd inning especially.
Snyder hit a home run into the berm beyond the left field fence to lead off the 3rd inning against Rich Harden. And Kevin Hart into his 2nd inning of work delivers a breaking ball in there for a strike. The line on Harden, by the way, 2 2/3 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits, all earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 home run. The 0-1 is low and away to Snyder, a ball and a strike.
You know, you and Candy were talking a little earlier about Gary Wood. Wood now with Cleveland. Michael Wirtz is gone. Jason Marquis is gone. Bob Howery is gone. They've added to their bullpen Vizcaíno and Gregg.
The 1-1 is in there for a strike, 1-2.
Of course, they're excited about Smarja as they should be.
Yep.
Angel Guzman has had a horrific spring, and he's out of options. They've got Neil Kotz, Chad Godin, Hart right here.
The 1-2. Check swing and appeal to first. No swing, and the count 2-2 to Snyder.
But I would have to think, and of course they've got Marmol too, who would set up Gregg if Gregg is a closer. But you know, Howery, they lose a veteran who went to San Francisco. Wood is gone. They got some work to do in the bullpen, but this is a pretty good ball club from 125.
The 2-2 is swung on and missed by Snyder. Down he goes on strikes. The good news for Lou Piniella is his starting pitching is pretty good.
Very good. I mean, when Harden's number 4.
Yeah. I mean, you throw in Zambrano, Dempster, Lilly. The only thing left to decide this spring is the 5th starter, and it looks like Sean Marshall's just about got that locked up.
Yeah, and if that's the case, and that helps the bullpen with Heilman.
Exactly.
You know, in the 6th, 7th, whatever.
Godin, too. Josh Wilson takes a strike. They had looked at both those guys as possible starting options.
Yeah, potentially it's got, you know, the potential to be a pretty strong bullpen, but we'll see how it all, you know, plays out.
Wilson walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Hart's pitch to him, low and away. I also contend, and I tell people this every time they ask, I think that the addition of Howery and Affeld to the Giants will make them better. How much better, who knows, but
pretty good pitching.
Yeah, and that's usually what matters the most. You do have to score a little. The 1-1 is swung on and fouled back.
We talked about the Cardinals maybe being a team that could challenge the Cubs, but You know, the two players that they've added that could help will be Khalil Green, their shortstop, and Trevor Miller, the left-handed reliever. But they've lost guys like Juan Encarnacion, who really didn't play any way last year because of the eye injury.
Right.
Isri Nelson, Cesar Torres, Braden Looper's gone, Felipe Lopez to the Diamondbacks, Miles to this ball club, Mulder and Russ Springer. It's a lot of losses.
The 1-2 tails inside to Wilson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You look at their starting rotation in St. Louis, and there's guys who can do it, but in most cases they're coming off injuries or they've had some struggles. And while Dave Duncan is a fabulous pitching coach, you can't really go to the bank on any of the guys that they're rolling out there. The 2-2 swung on and fouled back. We're 3-3 in the fourth. Diamondbacks at bat in the bottom of the fourth with the bases empty and 1 out.
Olgen has moved out on deck, so that's answering our question about Webby, who will go 4 here today.
Also have a suspicion. You mentioned Felipe Lopez. They might miss him a little bit in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Just a little. Boy, he had a great second half once he got over there. Breaking pitch is swung on and missed by Wilson. Down he goes on strikes. So all Hart has done since he came on in the third inning is faced 3 batters and gotten 3 punch-outs. And here is Trent Olgen to bat for Brandon Webb.
Olgen said he had a lot of fun in the WBC. He's played for Australia, as did Travis Blackley, Diamondback left-hander. So it was a great experience.
Olgen 4 for 13 with the Diamondbacks this spring. Spent a little time at the club before taking off for the WBC. Takes pitch low and outside. You talk to most players. I read a story the other day that Chipper Jones, despite the fact that he tweaked an injury the other day playing for the U.S., refused to go home to Atlanta. Just wanted to stay and just hang out. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Olgen, 1-1.
Things a little more serious for Dustin Pedroia, abdominal strain. He is pulled out of the WBC. The U.S. may be pulling out. They'll beat the Netherlands tonight.
Break up the Netherlands. Yeah. That's quite a story. They took out the Dominican Republic, and now they've got the U.S. on the edge of the cliff. There's a little tapper up the third baseline. Out to get it is Hill. Throws in time to get Olgen, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for the D-backs in the fourth. We go to the fifth in Tucson in a 3-3 tie.
If your doctor prescribed Lipitor, atorvastatin calcium, it was for many good reasons. And now there's another good reason to stay with Lipitor. You can save money with the Lipitor copay card every time you refill your Lipitor prescription, up to $120 a year. Just go to onlylipitor.com to learn about the Lipitor copay card and the eligibility requirements.
Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
While there are generic versions of some cholesterol medicines, there is no generic form of Lipitor currently available. That's why if you switch, it would be to a generic of a different medication. So if your doctor prescribed Lipitor and it's working for you, why switch? For more information, visit onlylipitor.com. Call 1-888-LIPITOR or see our ad in Health Magazine.
During spring training, you'll catch a few more high-profile people in the Valley. You'll hear about their nights out at trendy clubs and restaurants, but you won't hear details about the luxury homes they're buying. They use the realtors to the pros. Scottsdale Fine Properties Realty. Leslie Martinson's team has won the trust of many pro athletes for their discretion and total satisfaction during the home buying process, and they'd love to help you. Call Leslie Martinson and Scottsdale Fine Properties Realty at 480-391-7100. That's 480-391-7100. Scottsdale Fine Properties. Live the dream.
Breaking sports news first. Guaranteed. Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here. D-backs baseball. Sports 620 KTAR.
Along with Greg Schulte, Tom Candiotti, Leo Gilmartin, and our technical director Jordan Bird, Jeff Munn at Tucson Electric Park. A 3-3 tie to the fifth. Right-hander Chad Qualls will come on as the second pitcher used today. Brandon Webb went 4 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and the home run to Micah Hoffpower.
Saying that name, Hoffpower.
I had mixed up on his first name.
I was Hoffpower. That's a strong name.
I got tied up. I insisted on calling him Mitch Hoffpower because I was emailing somebody named Mitch earlier today and just had it stuck in my head. Go figure. So to the 5th, and Joey Gathright will lead it off. Qualls pitched on the 12th, which was Thursday. Had to think about that for a second. Gave up a run on 4 hits in an inning of work against Oakland. Struck out a batter. Had a perfect inning a week ago today in Seattle. Well, a scoreless inning. He allowed 2 hits.
I mean, he'll be the closer this year. 9 saves last year.
Gathright shows bunt, takes a strike as the corner infielders play up. I think he's ready for it.
Well, if last season, the way he ended it, any indication, last 30 outings after the All-Star break, he had an ERA of 1.21 and a 194 batting average against. Hitters were only 20 for 103.
The 0-1. Gathright takes low and outside. The thing I like, and it's very similar to Brandon Lyon, is the steady emotionally. If he has a bad outing, and closers will have them from time to time, he's not going to blow up on you. You're not going to be afraid to run him out the next day. The 1-1 is inside, 2 balls and a strike. And with closers, you can't be afraid to run the guy out the day after a bad outing. You got to get him back out.
Yep.
Ground ball pitcher, too. That helps a bunch. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, ground ball right side. Skelton right there to get it. Throws to first in time, 1 down.
Like what I've seen of Skelton in the field, we mentioned he has been catching mainly in the minor leagues with Detroit. Rule 5 pickup, but he can play the infield, and he's handled everything pretty flawlessly today. Made a nice dive attempt at a baseball. It just got by him. You sure enhance your chances to make a ball club when you can play more than one position.
Absolutely.
And he's a left-handed hitter.
Ryan Theriot is 0 for 1, walked and scored in the 3rd. Checks his swing, takes outside. And obviously, with the Rule 5 situation, if the D-backs don't have Skelton on the opening day 25-man roster, they have to give him back to Detroit or conduct a transaction to keep him in the organization. So they want to try to find ways to keep him around. There's a swing and a foul that dribbles away from the plate area.
Yeah, he'd have to be offered back at half of the $50,000 the Diamondbacks got him for. And there's thought that Detroit would probably take him back, or as you mentioned, Jeff, maybe make a trade for Skelton. And if the Diamondbacks think enough of him, but like somebody else maybe making the Major League roster, that's when Josh Burns talks to Detroit and said, hey, let's try and work out a deal here.
The 1-1 is a strike call to Theriot, 1-2.
And a lot of teams are in the same predicament, those who draft Rule 5 players. Some situations are easy to determine, others are not.
Bases empty, 1 out, 3-3 in the 5th. Theriot takes in the dirt. And the Rule 5 is great for players who may be with an organization where there's just a backlog of players at a certain position.
Yeah.
And for the clubs that draft these players, you can really hit the jackpot if you play your cards right. The 2-2. Theriot hits a one-hopper to short that goes off the glove of Wilson. Caroms out into shallow center. Skelton out to get it. Theriot's aboard at first.
Wilson usually pretty sure-handed, but that was a hop just... They're going to give him a hit just a little bit in front of him. And when that ball hit, he tried to jump in the air and get the hop that way, but it glanced off his glove.
They ruled it an error.
I thought they said base hit.
I thought so, too, but they're going to score that an error on Wilson. So now here's Micah Hoffpower, hit a 3-run homer his last time up, and he takes low and outside from Qualls, ball 1.
And they put hit up on the board.
Well, scoreboards are never wrong. But we'll go back and put hit until we're told otherwise. Theriot short lead away from first, held on by Tracy. Now he stretches it out a bit. Call sets, Theriot goes. The pitch is grounded up the middle. Over to get it is the shortstop Wilson on the right side of the infield, and he makes the throw to first in time. On the play, Theriot takes second, 2 down in the inning.
That's a nice play.
Yes, it was. You got a runner in motion, and Wilson covering a lot of ground to get to that ball. So now Terrio in scoring position with 2 down, and Jake Fox the batter. Wilson breaking that way with the runner headed for second.
Sure, man. He had 31 home runs last year at Double-A and Triple-A. And drove in 105. Fox.
He's hitting .294 coming into the day on the Cactus League schedule, and he takes a strike on the inside corner from Chad Qualls, 0-1.
Always fun to read bios and learn a little bit about players that you don't know a lot about. Fox is out of Gilbert, makes his home there now. Born in Indianapolis. Jacob Quirin Fox, Q-U-I-R-I-N is his middle name.
This is a strike at the knees. That's a middle name you don't run into every day.
Yeah. Never heard of it before.
Q will be just fine.
At the University of Michigan. Used to be a catcher.
They've had a pretty good program there for a long time. The 0-2. That's low. A ball on 2 strikes.
Barry Larkin went, right?
Yep. Didn't Chris Sabo go there?
I believe you're right.
One and 2 to Fox. Terrio at second, 2 down. 5th inning, 3-3. Both teams with 3-run third innings. And Chad Qualls taking over in the 5th after Brandon Webb went the first 4. Right-hander sets, delivers 1-2, and a breaking pitch is swung on and missed by Fox. Down he goes. First strikeout recorded today by Chad Qualls. Cubs in the 5th, no runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-3.
A baseball field tells stories. Stories of young heroes who play with heart and an unbreakable bond that's thousands strong. See the next great chapter as the D-backs season unfolds. Get 10 tickets plus a prize food stores gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. Presented by Gila River Casinos.
This goes out to you, McDonald's McRib sandwich. I missed you, you saucy, succulent thing. I missed your tender pork, your pickles, your onions, your everything. I missed you even more every day. I missed you so much, I only wish you could stay. Just the mention of your name, my heart skips. I welcome you back with open hands and moistened lips. McRib is back for only $1.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Limited time offer. Prices and participation may vary.
Is there a little Diamondbacks fan in your house? March is National Nutrition Month, and to celebrate, Sports 620 KTAR and the Arizona Milk Producers invite you to start your day the Diamondbacks way. With the purchase of 2 gallons of milk at your local grocer, you can enter your child in to win breakfast with a Diamondbacks player at their school. Start your day the Diamondbacks way. Just head to sports.ktar.com for all of the details.
Get discounted seating in the baseline box section with the D-backs Pick 6 Premium Pack. Save big on premium seating when you bundle 6 games together. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Bottom of the 5th at Tucson Electric Park. And a 3-3 tie before a full house and then some on a glorious Sunday afternoon down here in the old Pueblo. Right-hander Ken Katakura, who signed a minor league contract with a non-roster invitation to spring training with the Cubs back in January, takes over on the mound. In 302 career games in Japan, Katakura 76 and 82 with a 4.36 earned run average. Pitched for the Chunichi Dragons, the Osaka Kinetsu Buffaloes, the Yokohama Bay Stars, and the Yomiuri Giants. And Justin Upton faces him and swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1.
Of course, they've got Fukudome, and they've also got So Taguchi with them now.
Yes, they do.
Non-roster.
Upton doubled, brought in a run in the 3rd inning. Right-hander delivers, swung on and popped up foul back to the screen.
Cubs won their division last year by 7.5 games over Milwaukee. And it was that big series that they swept in Milwaukee late. It kind of vaulted them.
The 0-2. Swung on, a broken back fly ball into shallow right, coming on his deeds, and he makes a running catch, one down. The other thing about the Cubs in September, think back to that weekend they were supposed to play in Houston in the tornado or the hurricane. I don't remember which kind of storm it was. That rolled through Houston, and they ended up having to play games in Milwaukee, and Zambrano threw the no-hitter against the Astros at Miller Park.
And the Astros were none too excited about and too happy.
The first pitch to James Skelton is a strike called. Zambrano's been named the opening day starter. There was a lot of talk that Brian Dempster was going to get the nod, but Lou Piniella and Larry Rothschild looked things over, and they remembered that no-hitter he threw at the Astros and said, maybe that's the guy we ought to start with. Skelton tried to hold up his swing and couldn't. Comes up empty in the count 0-2. And Dempster took it well, said, well, you know what? WrestleMania is going on in Houston on that night before the opener. I'll just go check out pro wrestling and not worry about pitching the next day. The 0-2 is low and outside to Skelton. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Katakura is making his 6th appearance of the spring, a 1-0 record, an ERA at 5.06. Bases empty, 1 out, 3-3 in the 5th. Skelton 1 for 2 on the day, and the 1-2 pitch is a ground ball to short. Waiting for it is Terrio, throws in time to get Skelton 2 down.
I can still hear Ronnie Woo-Woo. It sounds like he might be out in the outfield now, but he can still.
He's making the rounds. Katakura, during his career, he's averaged 8.1 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched, fanning 1,146 batters while walking just 536 in 1,276 innings of work, which means he's not a kid. 2 down for Chris Young, who takes a strike. Young has struck out twice, both times against Rich Harden. The wind in the 0-1, and that's taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Diamondbacks will be here again tomorrow. They'll take on Colorado here at TEP. And they are back in the Valley on Tuesday. There's a strike called, 1-2.
Against Oakland on Tuesday, and then they're in Tempe on Friday against the Angels. Our next broadcast next Saturday here against the Royals, and then next Sunday in Peoria against San Diego.
The 1-2 pitch to Young. Check swing low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little more ground to cover before we open it up at Chase Field against the Rockies. But it's not as far away as you think. The 2-2 swung on and fouled back. So this would be a good time right now or tomorrow or the coming week to get on down to Chase Field or give the D-backs a call and start making your plans. A lot of games at home in April, and that's a good thing. Here's the 2-2 to Young. Fastball grounded foul outside of third. And we owe you a station break, so we'll take it. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Arizona Diamondbacks radio network.
All sports, all the time. Home of D-backs, Suns, Card, and ASU. Sports 620, KTAR Phoenix. It's all here.
Now another 2-2 to Chris Young. Here it is, and it's grounded foul again outside of third toward the D-backs dugout. So Katakura working to put Young away after he got Upton to fly to right and Skelton to ground to short. Katakura kicks and delivers 2-2, and it's a liner over the third baseman Herman and down the left field line. Young will make a big turn. He'll head for second. The throw is cut off. And Chris Young drops a double down the left field line.
That's good at bat because he was behind the count. 2 strikes on him. He fouled a couple of pitches off and got one in on his fist and was still able to shoot it over the third baseman's head. And, of course, that speed got him to second easily.
Off power had to come in a ways to track that ball down, and he really didn't have a chance to get Young at second. So a runner at scoring position in this 3-3 tie in the 5th, and Connor Jackson, who has flied to right and walked. Katakura looks at second and delivers, and Jackson takes a strike. When Katakura works out of the windup, like a lot of pitchers from Japan, he'll take that kick with the left leg and freeze for a split second and then complete the motion. Gets his sign, looks at second. And the 0-1 to Jackson. Low and away. Bob Melvin said it on the last day of 2008 when asked, and the quote was, Connor Jackson is my left fielder. And so that is where 2009 will begin for Jackson. Eric Burns had another workout today. All went well. The 1-1 is low. 2-1 to Jackson.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a healthy Eric Burns and getting some playing time here in 2009 and giving the Diamondbacks that speed that steals some bases and get back to the offense that he had. But as you said, he's going to fight for that playing time, but that's nothing new for Eric Burns. He's done that his entire career.
Exactly. Now the 2-1. Jackson takes low. Talked to him for a few minutes the other day at his field dedication in North Phoenix, which was quite a ceremony, by the way.
I read that story.
And I made a comment to him. I said, it's hard for a guy like you to just ease into things. And he agreed. He said the toughest part of this coming back from the injury is not wanting to go out and just go 110% like he usually does. The 3-1. Swung on, a fly ball into right. Deeds drifting back, has a play in front of the track, makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. Greg takes over the play call in the 6th through 5 in Tucson, a 3-3 tie.
Hi, I'm Mark Waddles, owner of Ultimate Electronics. There's still time to get that new HD TV you always wanted, so you can watch the best of college hoops in all its glory. To save you time and money, we shop Best Buy and Walmart every single day, and then immediately adjust our prices to be lower. And right now, we've got some incredible one-time specials like a 65-inch Mitsubishi 1080p for under $1,300.
Ultimate Electronics. Go anywhere else, and you'll pay too much.
This is Jason Johnson. I am on location here at Harbor Freight Tools' incredible parking lot sale. I got to tell you, it's pretty wild here. The sale is going on right now through Sunday. There are thousands of items that have been discounted as much as 76%. There's a guy walking past me here with a huge bag. Sir, what do you have in there?
It's a 4.5-inch angle grinder.
How much was it?
$9.99. It's half off.
It's like they're giving these tools away. Hey, what's that?
It's a 4-piece tongue and groove joint plier set.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I saved $5. Cost me $9.99.
That's amazing. Sir, what do you have in the box there?
It's a 500-watt portable halogen shop light. It was like $8.99. I couldn't believe it.
With deals like this and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, I can see why so many people are grabbing these unheard-of deals. Stop by Harbor Freight this weekend and get these great deals while they last. Harbor Freight Tools in Phoenix, Phoenix Northeast, Mesa, Glendale, Tempe, and Apache Junction.
Harbor Freight Tools, the right tool for every job, and a shipload of savings, too.
All sports, all the time, son. Cars, tracks, ASU, Sports 620, KTAR. It's all here. D-backs baseball, Sports 620, KTAR.
Hi again, everybody. Greg Schulte back with you here at Tucson Electric Park as we go to the Cub half of inning number 6, the 3-3 ball game. And Leo Rosales now pitching for the Diamondbacks. Roberson's in left field. Fry takes over in center. We have a new catcher, and that is Luke Carlin as Mike Fondos steps to the plate. Well, we're joined by Dave Van Dyke of the Chicago Tribune, who's been following the Cubs for a long, long time. How many years now has this been?
I'm not allowed to say.
How you doing?
I can't remember that many. Even if I take off my shoes, I can't get enough, and down on my toes and everything.
Now, a lot of the players don't make the trek to Tucson, but you got wriggled into it, huh?
Yeah, I do the White Sox too, and so I do them both. I think it was last year I did like a week of each one, and I had I think there were 6 trips to Tucson and back between the two teams. I hit each one, whenever they were in the opposite place, that's where I was. So, yeah, it's good to be here in Tucson. It's good to be in the Valley, too.
Yeah, nice crowd on hand, beautiful weather. Mike Fontenot takes a strike, 1-1 from Leo Rosales. I was reading your story, your notes about Fontenot. Is pretty much locked up the second base job?
It looks like it, yeah. Pinellas talked about getting he and Aaron Miles 350 at-bats each, so Miles will probably play against left-handers and play some shortstop and back up third base. I think they're only going to have one extra infielder. Not counting first base, but I think they only have one extra infielder and 2 outfielders. So.
Well, in Fontenot and especially in Miles, those two guys, I mean, they can float around. Aramis Ramirez, Derek Lee, they're pretty much going to play.
Yeah, they're going to play 150 games if they're healthy, sure. Yeah.
Fontenot takes a ball, and the count is 3-1 from Leo Rosales. Rosales has struggled this spring for the Diamondbacks. Fontenot fouls one backing out of play. Well, you mentioned Lou Piniella. There's never a dull day or never a dull news conference with Lou around, is there?
No, there isn't. And it's the same way on the other side of town because we got ARZ again, so you bounce back and forth. You just get the whole thing. They're so much alike, but they're so dissimilar, the things they say and how they say them. But they are wonderful for us media people, to work with every day.
Yeah, you're going to get a quote or 2 or 3 or 4. Ground ball to second is Skelton. He's got it and throws to first base to Tracy to retire Fontenot. Number 1. The one thing Lou has done, I mean, not that Dusty Baker, the other ones did it, but he has really brought a consistency of getting to that 90 win plateau the last couple of years.
Yeah, he was talking about today, and except for Tampa Bay, he says, I've had a team that is expected to win every place I've been, every place I've managed. It's the same way here. They've got a huge payroll. I think it's approaching $140 million this year, so you should win 90 games if you're healthy with a team that has that big a payroll. They'd be disappointed if they hadn't. But the back-to-back division championships has been so good, but they're 0 for 6 the last 2 years. And of course, we remember the Diamondbacks beating them 2 years ago. That was a great series. I had a lot of fun because I got to follow the Diamondbacks for a week before they played the Cubs, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good team to be around and a real good group of young kids. The goal this year, of course they aren't saying that publicly, but the goal this year is to win a playoff game.
Well, we're visiting with Dave Van Dyke of the Chicago Tribune talking some Cubs baseball here as the Diamondbacks Cubs are tied at 3. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Deeds and a swing and a miss. Rosales has a strikeout. And that's number 2. But as you mentioned, 0 for 6 in the last 2 playoff rounds against the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, and the hitting has just been absolutely non-existent.
No hitting.
For a ball club that can hit.
Yes. That's been the amazing thing is it's almost against the Diamondbacks, there was no hitting at all. And, except for the last game, it was understandable. Facing a good staff. But against the Dodgers, it was that first game, you're going, oh, no, we've seen this one before. It's amazing. It's like somebody flips a switch and says, okay, I'm sorry, it's the postseason. And, there's been a lot of conjecture that I think especially last year because it was a 100-year anniversary without a championship, and there was so much written and said, the talk radio's just filled with it.
They won 97 games.
Yeah, that how can you win 97 games and can't get a hit? But the 100-year thing became put so much pressure on them to do well that I think they all just went in there and everybody tried to do too well. You know what happens when you try too hard.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work. Esteban Armando to play the ball on the strike, 2 outs. Pitch from Rosales, and that's his up high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
I'm sorry, Greg.
That's right.
But it was kind of a funny thing because, Dempster, who had been so good, probably their best pitcher all year, well, it's just terrible, too, because there's no doubt that he felt it. And, and the Gold Glove infield, basically, each made an error in the one game at Wrigley Field. It was just remarkable.
That's going to be an infield hit for Germán as he dribbles one down the third baseline for a 2-out single.
But I really think the 100-year thing had a lot to do with last year. I'm not so convinced it had to do the 99-year thing the year before against you guys, but I think last year it really affected them.
Well, I grew up in Illinois. I grew up as a Cardinal fan of Western Illinois, and anything out of Chicago, it's a lot is split. Peoria, Springfield, Quad Cities, whatever. But more pressure on the Cubs as these years go on. You've gotten to the century mark now of not winning. Once you get to the playoffs, I mean, you're expected to win. And Cub fans, when you get to the playoffs, which has been very limited over the years, they want to see you do good. And when you don't, I mean, it just puts everybody back.
Gray, that's a good point, because in the last 2 years, the whole attitude of this new Cub following that they've had for the last 10 years, 12 years, 15 years has really changed. The expectations have changed.
Big time.
People were just happy with 500 a few years ago. I mean that literally. If the team could finish 500, they were happy, and if the sun was out, at Wrigley Field and everything was good, the expectations have changed. And now people are getting a little antsy. They, especially 0 for 6 in the playoffs, they're really getting antsy, and they're saying, wait a minute. You brought us a good team. It was like what the Red Sox went through after winning the championship. And, the fans all of a sudden said, okay, you did it, now we want it again.
97 wins isn't good enough. We want more.
And they had to have that second one. And I Terry Francona is a good friend of mine, was talking about the pressure of trying to do it again and prove it was no fluke. Of course, for that team, it was no fluke. But, and Cub fans want a champion now. They at least like to win around the playoff.
For the young fans of baseball, I mean, we can remember the days where Wrigley Field was 10,000 people.
Sure.
The bleachers were empty.
I covered games in Wrigley Field during September and even April, where we would, in the old press box, which is a lot lower, and we used to split up between writers and say, you count the people on the left side, I'll count the people on the right side. This is literally true, and we'll come up with some sort of, they're going to announce 5,000 or whatever, but we're going to really...
They do that in Pittsburgh now.
Right. We used to do that in Cleveland, too, in the old stadium late in the season, But
might do it in a lot of ballparks this year because of the economy.
I tell you, the economy is really going to affect the game. And probably, even if the economy gets better, we'll have the hangover going into the next year, too. So
that's one thing baseball's fighting. 2-1 to count here on Coy Hill. Runner at first, Herman with 2 outs in a 3-3 ball game. Rosales to throw over.
Do you, in about the 8th and 9th inning of these games, do you say in the pitch to number 94 or something?
My broadcast partner, Tom Candy, doesn't even keep score anymore. He takes a sheet out in front of him with all the numbers and the names and just kind of goes that route. But, it's spring training baseball.
You remember that spring that when Billy Martin was managing the A's up in Phoenix, of course, at Muni Stadium, and they actually had players with numbers over 100. They had 100 and some odd players in camp. Oh, God.
That was a big story.
Yeah, and players wearing double numbers. We had 2 95s or something.
Leave it to Billy, too.
Yeah, leave it to Billy. Especially back then, because, back then, before
you didn't have those.
Right, you didn't have the fields. He went in the back fields by right field.
Swing and miss by Coy Hill, and the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And it looked like Grand Central Station. Just, batting practice, it was just a mob of players standing there shagging fly balls.
Dave Van Dyke with us from the Chicago Tribune as we talk about the Cubs, who so far this spring 8-10 after a 97-win season last year, 7.5 game edge over Milwaukee in the NL Central. The stretch by Rosales and the 2-2 pitch on the way, and Hill takes low down 3-2. Herman will take off for second base. We talked about earlier. I really don't see a challenge to the Cubs in the Central. Do you?
No, Milwaukee without CC
and Sheets, who when he was healthy gave him some wins,
can't possibly be as good. Real good lineup, not so good pitching.
And St. Louis is down.
St. Louis had that marvelous run last year where they won more games than they probably should have. I don't
bet against Tony La Russa, though.
Never, especially after what he did last year. And, they knowing Tony, they'll hang around somewhere.
Hill flies one to left. Roberson there. He has it for the out, and that'll retire the side. Dave, can you stick around for another half inning?
Sure.
All right,
double
Dave.
pay?
Yeah, double
Thank
pay.
you.
You'll get what Candiotti gets. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth, 3-3 Diamondbacks and Cubs on the D-Backs Radio Network.
Enjoy fun and excitement right in your own backyard at Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Wequiva. Check out the stunning new Lone Butte and its elegant Verona Chop House located right off the 202 East in Kyrene. Or play at Wild Horse Pass and enjoy their all-you-can-eat buffet. Hey, we've even got you covered on the west side with Wequiva, the only place to play in the West Metro area. So when you're craving a little fun in Phoenix, think Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Wequiva. Is this your lucky day?
Need an idea on how to cut back on your energy bill? Get in the game. Hi, I'm Steve Nash. You've heard of compact fluorescent light bulbs, right? You know, CFLs. I have them in my house. They use 75% less electricity and last 10 times longer than regular bulbs. And that can add up to a lot of savings. Visit APS.com to find retailers offering Energy Star CFLs at a special discount courtesy of APS. A better tomorrow starts today, together with APS.
Program funded by APS customers and approved by the Arizona Corporation Commission.
I had a dream of starting my own business, but I wasn't sure if I could pull it off. Then I went to Desert Schools Federal Credit Union. They gave me the business tools I needed to help my vision take shape. They even set me up with a business checking account that actually pays me back. Now, my dream's a reality. Thanks, Desert Schools.
Desert Schools offers real solutions for your business. Better rates, fewer fees, and local decisions. Today, tomorrow, together. To learn more, click desertschools.org.
Accounts insured by the NCUA. Visit the official online shop of the Arizona Diamondbacks at dbacks.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic spring training gear, including clubhouse caps, T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your spring training gear straight from this source. Shop at dbacks.com.
D-Backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Jeff Stevens comes on to pitch for the Chicago Cubs. He was part of the Mark DeRosa deal to the Cleveland Indians, right-hander. Greg Schulte along with Dave Van Dyke for the Chicago Tribune. Tom Candiotti, Jeff Munn here at Tucson Electric Park as the Diamondbacks and Cubs are tied at 3. I mentioned Mark DeRosa. I thought he was a pretty good clubhouse guy, and you probably know better than other, but and a pretty good baseball player. That's a big loss for the Cubs, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, everybody was kind of surprised that they traded him, and of course their thinking was they needed to get more left-handed, especially at that time when they weren't sure what they were going to get out of Fukudome. They weren't sure whether...
And Bradley hadn't been signed yet, right?
Yeah, Bradley hadn't been signed, although they had a good idea they would sign him. And weren't sure that Fontenot could be an everyday second baseman, so they went out and got Miles right away, who's a switcher. But, yeah, they just wanted to get more left-handed. That's the reasoning, at least. But he's a fan favorite. He's a great guy in the clubhouse. Just a wonderful person in the clubhouse and a wonderful guy for the media because he was always there willing to talk.
And I think he's going to play third base for the Tribe.
He can play anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can play the I'll tell you what, he plays the outfield.
We saw him make a great catch against the Diamondbacks in the outfield.
Yes, he can play the outfield very well.
Well, your lineup, your everyday lineup is pretty much set, of course, with Lee at first base, Fontenot out second, Terrio Ramirez in the infield, Soriano, Fukudome, Bradley. You got Reed Johnson out there. You got Giovanni Soto. The ceiling on him, I mean, this young man could be one of the best to ever play the game behind the plate.
Yeah, and you know,
there's a shot to center by Tracy, but right at the center fielder for the out. One down.
Tracy flies center field. And the pitching staff's very good. You know, if Harden is healthy,
he's number 4.
Harden is number 4, and if he's healthy and can give them 6 innings, and that's a big if, or has been a big if. But if he can, and Sean Marshall will be the number 5, a big left-hander who's had an exceptional spring. It's a pretty good starting staff, and the bullpen.
Yeah. And I read the quotes, and I mentioned this to Candiotti. If you're Lou Piniella, who do you take? One guy says, I want to close. The other one says, whatever they want me to do, I don't care. I'm glad to be on the team. You're going to take the guy who wants to close, right?
Well, I'm not so sure of that. Lou said later on, when we talked to him about it, that, but Marmol's been here for a couple of years, and we know what he can do.
But Greg has saved 61. Well, of course, he was pitching for a different ball club in Florida.
Well, he was
but his stuff's pretty good.
Yeah, but you remember, too, he lost the job at the end of last season, but he had knee surgery after the season. He had a real bad knee, had surgery on it. He looks real good this spring. I think Lou was talking about naming the closer pretty soon, and yesterday he kind of backed off, and I think he's going to wait a while longer.
Well, Marmol, when he's throwing well, I mean, he is almost unhittable.
He's almost unhittable. He went through a little streak last year around the All-Star break, and he was named to the All-Star team, and everybody said, oh, boy, he's had a lot of innings, and he's over, he can't do it anymore. And then he just came back and was as strong as ever. He of course, lost the game to the Netherlands for the Dominican in the WBC, and then came back and got roughed up, with the Cubs, too. So they think he's going to be all right. And, he's traveled a lot and all. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see, though. If he continues to struggle, I think they can use Greg. But that, again, is the luxury of a high payroll,
Yeah.
To be able to go out and sign a guy like Greg, trade for a guy like Greg, and have Marmol, too. That's the advantage of the large payrolls.
Outside to Mark Reynolds, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tracy's been retired. Diamondbacks, Cubs, 3-3. Bottom of the 6th inning here in Tucson. Evan Fry is on deck. He'll bat next and bat for the first time.
The Cubs team, which is really a veteran team, reminds me a lot of those Diamondbacks.
High drive, deep left field by Reynolds. That is way back. Look out, scoreboard. Home run, Mark Reynolds. He's got some serious power, Dave. I know you've seen him. 28 home runs a year ago. We talk about all the strikeouts, but that, of course, what he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
So Mark Reynolds homers here, and he gives the Diamondbacks a 4-3 lead.
The Cubs being such a veteran team remind me of the teams that Brenly had.
Yeah, our 2001, 99.
Yeah, the teams that the Diamondbacks, that Colangelo went out and bought and put together, and his theory was bring in the older guys and pay for them and win the championship, which they did. And there's something to be said for having a veteran team, but as you guys found out, and the Cubs are going to find out pretty soon, age catches up, and all of a sudden, if you have a lot of veterans, it catches up with everybody
at
once.
the same time.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, they all within a year or so.
Now the Diamondbacks rebuilt their minor league organization.
Yes,
now the young kids who are in the minor leagues are up here, and they're retooling in the minor leagues again.
Yeah, and the Cubs are trying to put together a much better minor league than they had before. They haven't been real successful at bringing people up, but they think they have some kids down there. But the point that I was bringing up is, again, alluding to the Diamondbacks, that team, is that this team, this may be the last year that this is a 97-win team. We don't know that for sure, but, it's very possible that the clock is ticking on this team, and I think Jim Hendry felt that way, too.
Well, because he could break things up. I mean, if you don't get the job done again, he said, hey, we're not doing it with this group. We got to go another direction.
Yeah, I just don't think you can break it up, because then players will be too old. So I think they have to keep what they have. They're one of those teams that's caught, with trying to win.
To do.
They've got to win a championship. I think that's their thinking. And we'll just keep this group together until they can't do it anymore. But you're getting some age, especially at first base.
Yeah.
And Dempster is getting older. And, it's a team that's getting a little bit older.
A walk to Evan Fry, and here now is Josh Wilson. Runner takes off, ground ball to short, and only the one play at first. Fry takes second. On the throw over there is Wilson is retired for out number 2. And now Chris Roberson will be the hitter. Well, as we mentioned, Dave, the division you're in right now, pretty suitable to the Cubs. When you look at the National League, there might only be about 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams that could compete for postseason. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think the Braves are going to be real good this year.
So you got 3 probably in the East.
Yeah.
1 team in the Central, and maybe 2 or 3 in the West.
Yeah, your division's going to be real interesting. With Manny back, that's going to be a real good division. I'm not sure who I pick out of that group, and the wild card could come out of there too. Depending on how healthy the Mets are, I think.
Is there a surprise team? How about Cincinnati in your division?
No.
Did they make it? No?
I don't think so. I don't think they have enough pitching to be a surprise team. But, if somebody in the Central could put together a pretty good string, if say the Brewers, if they really play well and get some pitching, they could put together a pretty good string because that's a beatable division. Therefore, you're winning more games. and could slip into a wild card thing while the West and the East are beating up on each other and only winning 89 games or something.
How about our schedule? We mentioned we play the Cubs early in April, and then we don't see you guys again at Wrigley Field until the final 3 games of the regular season.
That playoff preview.
Yeah, well, it could be.
Yeah. Oh, that would be lovely. I would like that very much.
Outside to Chris Roberson, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I see where the Yankees not only lose A-Rod, now they got a question about Robinson Cano, who had an MRI, was supposed to have an MRI today, shoulder tendonitis. Boy, if they lose him, all that money they spent in the offseason, they're going to have to pitch and win a lot of low-scoring ball games.
Yeah, wait until CeCe walks off the mound holding his shoulder, you know.
High fly ball into right. That's caught by the second baseman. Dave Van Dyke, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Good luck to the Cubs. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Dave Van Dyke, Chicago Tribune. A Mark Reynolds home run has given the Diamondbacks a lead. We'll head to the 7th. 4-3 Arizona over the Cubs on the D-backs Radio Network.
Gambo and Ash, Arizona's Heritage Sports Talk Show.
Tim Legler-Legs, our NBA analyst from ESPN. I think this offseason they will go looking to trade Steve Nash, Shaquille O'Neal, and also Amari Stoudemire.
I definitely think Nash and Shaq. I'm not 100% convinced about Stoudemire. It's at the point now you have to strip it down. You have to get what you can, or else some of these guys are just going to walk away with no compensation.
Gambo and Ash, afternoons from 1 to 6, Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here.
Are you ready for spring break? Welcome to Ballers Arena, the largest indoor paintball arena in the state of Arizona. With over 16,000 square feet of AstroTurf to play on, it can be your home turf for spring break. Play tournament-style speedball, similar to what you see on ESPN. Ballers Arena has air-filled bunkers, fast-paced action, and a guaranteed adrenaline rush to boot. Spend your spring break at Ballers Arena with great specials. Bring your own paint and play all day for $30. Or try the family 4-pack, and for $140, you'll get admission, rental equipment, a case of paintballs, and lunch for 4. For more info, go online to ballersarena.com or call today for spring break pricing and discounts. 480-668-7868. Ballers Arena, a premier indoor paintball facility on Country Club Drive in between University and Main Street in downtown Mesa. Look for the giant Ballers Arena sign.
Breaking sports news first. Guaranteed. Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here. D-backs baseball. Sports 620 KTAR.
Let's pause right here for a station break in the Diamondbacks Radio Network.
All sports, all the time. Home of D-backs, Suns, Cards, and ASU. Sports 620 KTAR Phoenix. It's all here.
Hi, Candy. Welcome back.
Man, it's been a long time, hasn't it?
How you doing?
Doing great. Same as I saw you about an hour ago.
Yeah, 4-3 Diamondbacks leading on a Mark Reynolds home run as we go to the 7th. Bobby Scales will step in against Esmeralyn Vasquez for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks have been, they've out-hit the Cubs 9-5 thus far. And Vasquez's first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Vasquez made his spring debut on February 25th at Colorado. Missed his start last year for Tucson. He had a shoulder injury during the Arizona Fall League. Swing and miss. Were you telling me you saw that injury? Was that one of the ball games you saw, the Vasquez injury? No?
No, I didn't see that one.
You went to a lot of them, I remember. But he was the organization's pitcher of the year in 07. And had 29 starts that year, 165 innings, 151 strikeouts. So he's looking to bounce back here this year as he throws one that's fouled back by Scales. A switch here to batting left-handed. Diamondbacks have been hitting the ball the last 3 days. I know Bob Millman's going to be really happy with that.
Yeah, the approach has been well. A couple times today, I think they'd like to have a do-over.
Yeah.
They left some guys on base, struck out with guys in scoring position. That's one of the things they've been trying not to do. But overall, you got to really love the way they have been swinging the bat.
Scales is swinging a miss for a strikeout. And even though Webb gave up the 3-run homer to Hoffbauer, I thought his 4 innings were pretty good.
No, they were good. The first 2 especially just sailed nice and easy, getting the ground balls. Looked like he was throwing his changeup. I saw a couple breaking balls. I think Webby looked right.
Yep.
He was just right there.
Calls an inning with a strikeout. Rosales needed a good inning today, and he gave it to him. And now Vasquez on with a strikeout. Gathright at the plate.
I think Tracy's been looking good at first base a couple times. We've seen him now.
He made a real nice play on a ball that was hit right at him and took that in-between hop. It fielded it flawlessly and took it to the bag. Made a nice play over at third yesterday, so he's getting time on both spots of the infield, which he could see a lot of action both at first and third this year. Going to be the everyday first baseman for the most part. Pitch outside from Vasquez, 2-0. Now, Dave Van Dyke said it best. Cub fans expecting more than winning during the regular season. They need some playoff victories.
At least one, right?
Yeah.
It's almost you feel sad in a way. A team that wins, 96, 97 games?
Yeah, well, growing up as a Cardinal fan, I didn't feel too sad.
I mean, but they can't even win a game in the playoffs after all that,
Yeah.
So, and now they're just hoping to win one game. I mean, no organization wants to just win one game.
Yeah. I mean, they had the talent, they had the pitching, they had the hitting to do it last year, but 2 years in a row with the offense going south, they have not been able to muster a win against the two teams in the National League West, the Diamondbacks 2 years ago and the Dodgers last year. 3-1 the count here on Gathright. Gathright has a single, a stolen base, scored a run. 4-3 Diamondbacks lead in the seventh. The pitch, another strike from Vasquez, 3-2. I like some of these young arms we've seen for the Diamondbacks during the spring.
Yeah, it's always good to take note of them, too, because there's going to be a point, where injuries are going to take effect during the regular season, and these guys' names all of a sudden are going to pop up, and you don't have to say, well, who's this? I never seen him throw. You're getting a glimpse of these guys and what they can feature right now.
Well, he comes back and he fans Gathright on a swinging strike 3 for his second strikeout. This is Merlin Vasquez, 2 up, 2 down here in the seventh. And what do you say it every year about this time, the Diamondbacks or the Cubs, any team in baseball, over the course of a season, you're going to need upwards of about 20 pitchers throughout the season.
Boy, you got to have those guys, not only in case injuries happen, but you never know when your organization gets to the point where they might have to make a trade to fill a spot or whatever it is, and other organizations look at your roster and they look at these guys, well, we want this guy's arm, or so they come into more playing, with other general managers and other organizations.
Ground ball hit to short, should be an easy inning. Wilson's got it on to first for the out. 1, 2, 3 go the Cubs in the seventh. Stretch time here at 10th, Tucson Electric Park. Scoreboard reads Diamondbacks 4, Cubs 3 on the D-Backs Radio Network.
This goes out to you, McDonald's McRib sandwich. I missed you, you saucy, succulent thing. I missed your tender pork, your pickles, your onions, your everything. I missed you even more every day. I missed you so much, I only wish you could stay. Just the mention of your name, my heart skips. I welcome you back with open hands and moistened lips. McRib is back for only $1.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Limited time offer. Prices and participation may vary.
Peanuts, popcorn, hot dogs, great baseball treats in their own right, but alone they just don't have what it takes to satisfy a crowd of heated-up Arizona Diamondbacks fans. They need something extra, something like a taste of ice-cold Pepsi. Only Pepsi has the cold, irresistible refreshment that can cool down a D-backs fan on a hot summer day. A Diamondbacks game without a Pepsi is like a pitcher without a baseball. So grab your concessions and don't forget plenty of ice-cold Pepsi. Pepsi and Diamondbacks baseball. Always a good call.
Enjoy fun and excitement right in your own backyard at Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Vequiva. Check out the stunning new Lone Butte and its elegant Verona Chop House located right off the 202 East in Kyrene. Or play at Wild Horse Pass and enjoy their all-you-can-eat buffet. Hey, we've even got you covered on the west side with Vequiva, the only place to play in the West Metro area. So when you're craving a little fun in Phoenix, think Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Vequiva. Is this your lucky day?
Get discounted seating in the baseline box section with the D-Backs Pick 6 Premium Pack. Save big on premium seating when you bundle 6 games together. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-Backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
New Cubs pitcher, it is Jason Waddell for the Chicago Cubs as we go to the home half of the seventh. Diamondbacks coming up, leading 4-3 on a 6-inning home run, a long home run by Mark Reynolds. It'll be the top of the order due up. Justin Upton probably batting for the last time today. I like what Bob Millman's done. He's given Upton some time in the leadoff spot in a couple of these spring training games, getting him some looks, and who knows, he may be called upon to bat leadoff once or twice during the course of the season.
Well, you look at guys like Upton, you've seen it with Chris Young, you've seen it with Drew, you've seen it with Eric Burns. A lot of these guys have that versatility to hit anywhere in the lineup you want to put them. And so why not with Upton?
Upton has a double today and has driven in a run and scored a run. He's 1 for 3, facing the left-hander Jason Waddell. And the first pitch on the way is outside for a ball. Huge crowd here. And a lot of Cub fans, but we see an awful lot of red, which is always good to see. Here's a pitch. Upton takes high. And the count goes to 2-2. And our attendance today, 11,455. Wow. Baseball fans here at Tucson Electric Park.
Packed house.
Yep. Upton fouls one off the mask of the catcher, or the umpire. Who'd he get? The umpire?
Maybe both. I don't know, but I know he had a vicious swing at that fastball.
He sure did. 2-1. Your eyes start getting bigger and bigger. Your mouth starts watering when you have a 2-0 count. See that pitch come in there.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where he can eliminate pitches against a guy that hasn't shown that he can throw something off speed in a fastball count.
Upton is swing and a miss, and now it's 2-2. So this is the largest crowd of the spring. 11,455 here at TEP. Diamondbacks played before 11,000 against the Mariners last week when we were there. 11,062, so they're drawing some big crowds, as they should. And with these cloudless days in Arizona, and the temperatures going to be shooting up into the 80s. Probably big crowds all this next week. Outside to Upton, full count 3-2.
Should some great crowds next week.
Yeah. Diamondbacks tomorrow will be here. They'll take on the Rockies. Tuesday split squad. They'll be up in Phoenix against the Oakland A's, and then here against the White Sox. Swing and a miss by Upton. He's down on strikes. One away, but I like the fact he didn't get cheated out of his swings.
Not at all.
One away, and here comes Skelton, who's got a hit today, 1 for 3. Thursday is an off day for the Diamondbacks. Wednesday they'll be here at TEP against Milwaukee. And we mentioned Thursday being an off day. Friday they're in Tempe, take on the Angels. And then next Saturday and Sunday are broadcast games on KTAR. We'll be here Saturday at 1 o'clock. The Diamondbacks take on the Royals. And next Sunday we'll be in Peoria when the Diamondbacks play the Padres at the Peoria Sports Complex. So next Friday or next Saturday, Candy, you're here in Tucson. And then next Sunday you have to drive up to the Valley and go to Peoria.
I'm just glad we get a chance to broadcast against another National League club.
Yeah.
Because it seems like we're getting all American League clubs.
And look at the Padres. Look at a National League West rival. Ground ball off the first baseline. And that is a fair ball. Boy, that was a misplay by the pitcher right there, Jason Waddell. As that ball was hugging the line, and he waited for it to roll, and it came back into fair territory and hit the line. Home plate umpire Tony Randazzo called it fair, and it's an infield hit.
Well, he had a brain fart is what happened, because that ball was rolling down. The only time you let it go is when the runner stops. And he was running the whole way, and he still let it go, and it came back into fair territory. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. He must be a lefty.
Yeah. Bill Lee-man, all right? Spaceman. Here's the next hitter for the Diamondbacks. This is Luke Carlin, the catcher. Yeah, it was definitely a misplay right there. And a check swing and a swing. Strike one on Carlin. Carlin played for Canada in the WBC. He's a catcher. Used to be with Padres. 4-3 Diamondbacks lead. Skelton at first, one out. And a left-hander. Waddell holding the base runner. And he'll throw over there. Bob Melvin has been using the hit and run quite often here this spring, but now you got a left-hander holding from the mound the runner at first. Skelton, we'll see if Diamondbacks do anything. Carlin, right-handed hitter, digs in. And the pitch is low for ball, 1-1. Rusty Ryle is out on deck. He'll bat next. Well, again, the starters pretty much got 5 innings in today. Position players. Webb pitched 4 innings. So far, all in all, a pretty good day's work with a 4-3 lead here late, 7th inning.
Got a chance to see Reynolds knock the ball way out of here. Snyder with the home run.
2 long balls today. We talked yesterday. The Diamondbacks had not been hitting the long ball, but we've seen a little bit of it. Saw 2 home runs yesterday, Whitesell and Wilson. 1 ball, 1 strike count. There's one of the Cubs pitchers running in the outfield. Still a sign of spring, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Out of the stretch ready is Waddell. And the pitch. Low strike. And it's 1-2 now. Carlin didn't think so. He'll back out. So if you want to see the Diamondbacks this week in the Valley, split squad in Phoenix at Muni Stadium against Oakland on Tuesday. And then on Friday they'll be in Tempe to take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And then next Sunday, a week from today, in Peoria against the Padres. Otherwise, they'll be here in Tucson. Ground ball chopped foul down to third. And Chip Hale, with those quick feet, shuffled on over and made the play and tossed the baseball into the stand.
Still has his cat-like quickness.
Lorenzo Bundy coaching at first base. The helmet look now for the base coaches is much more familiar looking, and you don't have to take a second look after doing it all last year. Ground ball back up the middle. Waddell throws to second and off the shortstop's glove into shallow left field. On to third goes Skelton. Stopping at first is Luke Carlin. There's one that should have been turned, at least 1 out, if not 2. Cubs didn't get any.
Yeah, they got their timing mixed up that time. Waddell, left-handed pitcher, fields the ball, but you know, if he let that ball go, it was a ground ball. It would have been right to the shortstop, an easy 6 unassisted 3. But he did a nice job. He fielded the ball, but there was a miscommunication there because the shortstop was going after the ball. I thought it was going to go by, stopped, and then once he saw the pitcher catch it, he started again, lost his timing, and the pitcher had a tough time, hitting a guy that kind of already stopped. It's like a wide receiver not finishing in his route, didn't know where to throw it.
That'll be road candy, a fielder's choice E1. So first and third here. Rusty Ryle bats for the first time as he hits in Connor Jackson's spot. So Diamondbacks with a chance for more, leading by a run 4-3. As we play in the bottom of the 7th here at Tucson Electric Park. Pitch fouled by Ryle, a right-handed hitter, 0-2. And these are things that teams work on, too, in the spring. And again, this year, teams didn't have that extra week of practice. They practiced for about a week and then went right into the ball games.
I was talking to Kirk Gibson today before the game, and he says, so here we are right in the middle of March, and usually, you got about 2 weeks before the start of the season. Now it's another 3 weeks right now, and you start going through this. Your body starts recovering a little bit. You go through this where you feel dead, you feel tired, and you're trying to get over those little nags and get ready for the season. He goes, you still got another 3 weeks.
Yeah, the schedule is about halfway through right now.
Yeah, it's a little different.
1-2 the count on Ryle. Waddell ready. And the pitch. Ground ball down to third. Let's see if the Cubs get 2 here. Out at second. Out at first, double play. And Waddell escapes damage. In the inning, no runs, a hit in there. A band left. Jeff's back to take you home with candy. We go to the 8th. 4-3 Diamondbacks on the D-Backs Radio Network.
Listen up, Valley residents. The heat is on its way, and we're looking for relief. Now is the time to turn that backyard into a beautifully crafted custom pool and landscape. Rain Dance Pool and Landscape has been the leader in yard and patio designs for over 30 years. Now, for the first time, they're bringing their professionalism and beauty to your home and offering great deals on custom pool designs. And with Rain Dance's Swim in 30 Days guarantee, you can enjoy your new pool right away. Don't wait for multiple contractors. Rain Dance is your one-stop shop and can do it all while offering excellent financing. Find out more by visiting raindanceaz.com. That's raindanceaz.com. Rain Dance always gives free consultations and estimates, so visit them today. Visit KTAR's All-Star Rewards page and get a free $4,000 upgrade with the purchase of a pool and landscape contract. That's a free stainless steel 5-burner built-in barbecue grill for your backyard. A $4,000 value. Free courtesy of Raindance Pool and Landscape.
During spring training, you'll catch a few more high-profile people in the Valley. You'll hear about their nights out at trendy clubs and restaurants, but you won't hear about their finances and the luxury homes they're buying. They use the realtors to the pros. Scottsdale Fine Properties Realty. Leslie Martinson's team has won the trust of many pro athletes for their discretion and total satisfaction during the home buying process. And they'd love to help you find your new home. Scottsdale Fine Properties. Live the dream. Contact Leslie Martinson and her team at ScottsdaleFineProperties.com. ScottsdaleFineProperties.com.
All sports, all the time, son. Cars, D-backs, ASU. Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here. D-backs baseball. Sports 620 KTAR.
8th inning in Tucson, a 4-3 Diamondbacks lead. Along with Tom Candiotti, Jeff Munn back with you, along with Leo Gilmartin, Greg Schulte.
We've got some musical chairs going on here, don't we?
Just slightly. You're Tom.
How do you keep score after going, back and forth and all over the place?
I just walk around and
all these changes
my little
that kind of come in.
I scribble, You've seen my handwriting. I just put it in there. On the subject of changes, by the way, Kyler Newby is the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. Right-hander takes over after Vasquez win an inning. And the new left fielder is Brandon Watson. And Micah Hoffpower takes a strike called 0-1. Hoffpower is 1 for 3, a 3-run homer for the only Cubs scoring of the day so far. That came in the 3rd inning. And Newby delivers high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Newby hasn't pitched since the 9th. A rough outing, so he's looking to straighten things out here. 4th appearance of the spring, and he delivers low to Hoffpower, 2 balls and a strike.
What's the latest that you get on the status of Eric Burns?
What I heard, and I was not down there hearing from him directly, as an off-speed pitch is in for a strike, is that no news. He ran, did a whole bunch of stuff out in the field this morning, and all went well. So he's still on track. He's going to get into a spring game here, I would think, in the next couple of days, maybe, or a week. Who knows? Grounder foul toward the Cub dugout, first base side.
Hopefully before a week, you think. You got about 3 weeks now before the start of the season. So you'd like to get them in sometime this week and, get them some at-bats. Even if they're in the minor league games, camp games, something.
Well, we talked about it, with Greg, as the 2-2 from Newby to Hoffpower is a swing and a fly ball into right. Upton moves in, makes the catch. Actually, that's a new right fielder for the Diamondbacks, and we'll get... I wonder if Roberson moved to right. It was indeed Roberson that moved to right. And it goes in the book as a 9. So there you go. So 1 down, and Brad Snyder, who's taken over and left for the Cubs, climbs in. I was talking with Greg earlier about this. I think one of the big challenges for Eric Burns is going to be developing the ability early on as he gets back out on the field to not go 110%. There's a pitch low. You know how he's such an all-or-nothing type of player. And he could really get himself hurt again if he does that early on.
Well, then he probably should play until he gets to that point. If that's the only way that he can play, he's going all out all the time, then, you got to get to that point where that's the way I play the game. This is what I bring to the table. This is the way I have to play. This is me. So he's got to get himself to that point where he can be, the reckless Eric Burns that we know and love. I was talking to him about his field dedication ceremony the other day, and I asked him, I said, can you play any way other than all out? He said, no. There you go. There's a fly ball into deep right. Going back on it is Roberson, and it's out of here for a home run for Brad Snyder. We're even at 4 in the 8th. Boy, that ball shot out of the park here. And that ball went out to right center field, and it was clobbered. I don't know if that ball got over the berm area or not. It was pretty close.
It was pretty close. I see a few people kind of milling around near the fence that guards the street. Tell you what, it wasn't cheap, that's for sure. Second home run of the spring for Snyder, RBI number 7. And the batter will be Mike Fontenot, who's going the distance today at second, and he takes a pitch high and outside from Newby. 1 ball, no strikes. So 4-4, eighth inning. And Fontenot looks at a pitch low. Roberts at third, even with the bag. Another guy that is working his way back from injury is Fontenot. Lifts a fly ball into deep left center. There's not a whole lot of doubt about that one either, and it's into the berm in left center. So back-to-back home runs from Snyder and Fontenot, and the Cubs have grabbed the lead 5-4 in the eighth.
Boy, that ball was smashed opposite way, left center field. Fontenot's not a big guy. He's not a guy that hits a lot of home runs. Tell you what, that ball went probably close to 400-plus feet out that way, opposite field.
His third home run of the spring, his 9th run batted in, and his 2nd hit of the day. So 5-4 Chicago, and here's So Taguchi, who came on the last half inning to take over in right field, and he takes a strike called. Another guy that is working his way back from injury for the D-backs, Alex Romero, broke his hand in winter ball in Venezuela, and he's about a week or so away from getting back to game action. Off-speed breaking pitch is outside, 1-1 to Taguchi. The feeling is, I guess, that with all the potential outfielders already around, that Romero is likely to start the year at AAA Reno. There's a pop foul off to the right out of play.
Yeah, that's what happens when there is a multitude of outfielders, and you get hurt. It takes you a while to come back, and you got to work yourself right back up the ladder like you did before to get to the big leagues.
The 1-2 swung on, foul back. Well, you mentioned earlier about how AAA is a place where you keep guys that you need to get to the big league club in a hurry in case of an injury, and Romero fits that role perfectly.
Yeah, a guy that's has big league experience, and you want him facing guys that know how to pitch, guys that have been up and down for the major leagues and stuff.
A little swing by Taguchi and a fly ball down the right field line. He tried to hold his swing up, it looked like. Got contact and put it into the seats in foul territory. And the count 1-2. We know what Romero can do, no question.
What kid hustles, plays hard.
The set by Kyler Newby, the 1-2 to Taguchi's inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Taguchi with the Phillies last year, but he had a really rough year. And the Cubs signed him in part because they know so much about him from his days with the Cardinals. They saw an awful lot of him when he was in St. Louis, and they're hopeful he can regain the form he had with the Cardinals in a Cub uniform as he takes outside.
And as it usually goes, he probably had some pretty good games against the Cubs.
Yeah. The Cubs tend to remember those.
It's amazing. All organizations do. Remember the guys that play well against them. They want them on their team.
Yeah, there's a shot to the gap in left center. That's going to drop down, roll toward the track, and bounce against the fence. Taguchi's on his way for second, and he'll hold there with a 1-out double. And I suspect he did that a few times against the Cubs.
Most likely.
Pitching coach Brian Price going to go out and talk to Kyler Newby. And Jason Dubois will come on and pinch hit here, with the pitcher's spot due up. So after the fly ball to right by Hoffpower, Fox and Fontenot back-to-back home runs. A double by Taguchi. And Price having a lengthy chat with Kyler Newby. And it's Dubois, not Dubois, Jeff. It's Dubois. Dubois split time between a couple of AAA clubs, Columbus and Iowa. Columbus with the Washington Nationals organization, and he got released from the Nationals in May, and the Cubs picked him up the day after he got let go. Checks the swing, takes outside. Nice block by Carlin, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. He was declared a free agent in November, and the Cubs signed him again to a 1-year minor league deal on the 15th of January. 5-4 Chicago, top of the 8th. Taguchi at second, 1 out. The set by Newby, and the 1-0 to Jason DuBois is a check swing strike.
Good breaking ball that time. Really had him out in front. The guys that are, right now, they're throwing their breaking balls, but they still don't have really the consistency to them. Sometimes, one pitch they're throwing a really good one. Next time, and it's kind of a cement mixer. It's not quite refined yet.
Newby was the Diamondbacks pitcher of the month last June. 6 saves and an 0.66 earned run average. He delivers upstairs 2-1. Pitching for Single A Visalia in the California League. Was 4-3 on the year for the Oaks and ranked 4th in the Cal League in saves with 16. And opponents hit just $1.99 off him. Swing and a foul off to the right out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to DuBois.
Anytime you get guys hitting less than 200 off you, you got good stuff.
Doesn't matter what league you're in.
That's right.
Taguchi at second, 1 down. 8th inning, 5-4 Cubs. Back-to-back home runs have put the Cubs back out in front. Newby's 2-2. DuBois hits a liner to third, grabbed by Roberts, throws to second, too late to double up Taguchi.
Yeah, Taguchi did what he was supposed to. That ball was just leaned on right to the third baseman, and you as a base runner, you got to freeze and let that ball go through. You can't get too far off. Taguchi knew exactly how far he had to get back to the bag and barely beat that throw behind him.
So 2 down, and here is Wellington Castillo. Bats for the first time. After Coy Hill went 0 for 2 with a walk today as the starting catcher, there's a pitch low. That's an area the Cubs are trying to make up their minds between Coy Hill and Paul Bacco as their number 2 catcher behind Giovanni Soto. The 1-0. Swung on, a deep drive to left. Going back on it is Watson. It's into the Diamondbacks bullpen for a 2-run homer for Wellington Castillo, and it's 7-4 Cubs in the 8th.
That ball didn't waste any time getting out of the park either. Just not a high towering ball at all, just a line shot. Just in the Diamondbacks bullpen. 340 down the line in left field. That ball was about 5 yards or so to the right of that, inside that, and that got out of here in a hurry.
And Bob Melvin's going to go ahead and make a pitching change. So Tyler Newby struggling. Gives up 4 runs, and a left-hander will come in in an attempt to close out the Cub 8th inning. Breaking the action at Tucson Electric Park. 2 down, and the Cubs with 4 runs in lead the Diamondbacks 7-4. We're back after this on the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
If you hear this melody at the ball game and think, I better get to the concession stand before they stop selling beer, we suggest you consider the following lyrics. Get me home from the ball game. I don't think I should drive. I've had a few beers and some bratwurst. I'm afraid that someone may just get hurt. I won't get behind the wheel. Instead, I will use my cell phone. So it's not 1, 2, 3 beers. I'm out on the old drive home. The Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety and the Arizona DUI Task Force remind you not to drink and drive. If you do, expect the max.
Today, we all want things to be as individual as we are.
Half cup large, munch fat, no foam, latte for C.
We want things to meet our specific tastes. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona gives individuals a variety of affordable health insurance options. From copay plans to plans compatible with a health savings account, there's a plan for you. And with one of the largest PPO networks in the state, chances are your doctor is in our network. To find a plan, call Cabrera Financial at 602-346-5155. 602-346-5155.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona is an independent licensee of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association.
A baseball field tells stories. Stories of young heroes who play with heart and an unbreakable bond that's thousands strong. See the next great chapter as the D-back season unfolds.
Get 10 tickets plus a prize food stores gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. Presented by Gila River Casinos.
D-backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Left-hander Clay Zavada will come in now to try to close this inning out. And before we get back to action, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Arizona Diamondbacks radio network.
All sports, all the time. Home of D-backs, Suns, Cards, and ASU. Sports 620 KTAR Phoenix. It's all here.
With its 7-4 Cubs, Bobby Scales, who is 0 for 1, having struck out the last inning, will climb in against Clay Zavada.
Challenge with these names right now.
Oh, yeah. And he delivers ball 1 to Scales. Zavada pitched in South Bend last year at A-ball in the Midwest League. 24 games, 35 and a third innings, an 0.51 earned run average. He was signed in mid-June by the Diamondbacks. There's a pitch outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Diamondbacks originally signed him as their 30th round pick in 2006. There's a strike called, 2-1. They let him go in December of 07, but as we said, signed him again in June of 08. Check swing, strike called, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Scales.
Okay, it's a good thing I brought my media guide so you can use it, huh?
Yeah, I was just going to tell you, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's a sign of a good teammate. Ground ball up the middle to his right to get at his Skelton. Throws in time, and the side is retired. But the Cubs gain the lead. 4 runs, 4 hits, including 3 home runs in the inning. No errors, nobody left. To the bottom of the 8th in Tucson, 7-4 Chicago.
Enjoy fun and excitement right in your own backyard at Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Vequeva. Check out the stunning new Lone Butte and its elegant Verona Chop House located right off the 202 East in Kyrene. Or play at Wild Horse Pass and enjoy their all-you-can-eat buffet. Hey, we've even got you covered on the west side with Vequeva, the only place to play in the West Metro area. So when you're craving a little fun in Phoenix, think Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Vequeva. Is this your lucky day?
Is there a little Diamondbacks fan in your house? March is National Nutrition Month, and to celebrate, Sports 620 KTAR and the Arizona Milk Producers invite you to start your day the Diamondbacks way. With the purchase of 2 gallons of milk at your local grocer, you can enter your child in to win breakfast with a Diamondbacks player at their school. Start your day the Diamondbacks way. Just head to sports.ktar.com for all of the details.
Want to save money on your energy bill? Get in the game. I'm Steve Nash. Just recently, I had solar panels installed on the roof of my own house. They look great, they're good for the environment, and they really reduce my electric bill. And now, solar panels are more affordable with tax credits and APS rebates that can cover more than 50% of the cost. Visit APS.com to learn more. A better tomorrow starts today, together with APS.
Program funded by APS customers and approved by the Arizona Corporation Commission.
Visit the official online shop of the Arizona Diamondbacks at dbacks.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic spring training gear, including clubhouse caps, T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your spring training gear straight from this source. Shop at dbacks.com.
D-backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Bottom of the 8th, 7-4 Cubs. Ryan Roberts will lead it off, and he'll face right-hander Justin Berg. 6th pitcher used today by Lou Piniella. Waddell went an inning, gave up a base hit, struck out a man. Berg will be 25 on the 7th of June. Cubs got him 3 years ago, 3 years plus from the Yankees, from Matt Lawton. Last year split time between Tennessee and Iowa, went 4-6 with the I-Cubs. 16 starts. Ryan Roberts looks at a pitch low. Here's a guy, Ryan Roberts, story in the paper today, and was something we've been aware of for a while. He's got a great chance to break through and grab a spot on this club if everything falls the right way for him. There's a strike called at the knees, 1-1. Played a middle infield. Came in today to play at third. Looks at a pitch low and away.
Well, there's a lot of ways to try to impress Bob Melvin and Brian Price and the rest of the coaching staff, whether you're a pitcher or fielder. And, you know, you do it by the quality of at bats you take, by the hustle that you have no matter how you do it.
Broken bat, fly ball into right. Taguchi started in, drifts back, makes the catch, one down.
And to also be able to show your versatility out there. When you're fighting for that 25th spot on the roster, if you're a position player, those usually go to guys when you throw, when you throw options and all that stuff out the window, of guys that can, hey, they can catch in a pinch, they can play first base, third base, corner infielders, maybe middle infielders, maybe a corner outfielder spot. All those little things come into place. Can you switch hit? Can you hit lefty? Can you hit righty? Can you steal a base? And the more of those things that you can do and you can show the coaching staff, the better chance you have of getting that roster spot.
Josh Whitesell takes a strike at the knees. And usually those are one of those decisions that comes down to those last couple of exhibition games at Chase Field that Josh Burns and Bob Melvin really labor over. A ground ball to second. Down on a knee is Andres Blanco, the new second baseman, and he throws to first to get Whitesell, 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, that's when the final decisions will be made. But to get to that point, you have all spring to show the hustle that you have, or the willingness and the drive that you have to be able to play in all these different positions and want in the game and want the ball if you're a pitcher. Whatever it is, whatever it takes, or staying after and having that extra BP or whatever it takes.
Evan Fry walked his first time up, takes a strike call. Cubs got 4 in the top of the 8th, including 3 home runs in the inning. Then they have a 7-4 lead here as we bat in the bottom of the 8th inning, or the D-backs do. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. 7 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Cubs. 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Arizona. Crowd of 11,000 plus, many of whom stuck around. And why not? The 0-2, low and in. Berg comes set, delivers 1-2, and it's outside to Fry. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2 pitch is upstairs, a full count.
Get another good at bat, seeing a lot of pitches, working the pitcher, working the count.
Berg looks in for a sign. And the left-handed batting Fry swings and fouls one down the left field line. It tails foul and out of play. So we'll do it again on 3-2. And the 3-2 here is lifted down the left field line fairly deep, but Snyder has a play, makes the catch on the track, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down, a 1-2-3 inning for Berg, and we go to the 9th in Tucson, 7-4 Cubs.
Wake up with Doug and Wolf.
Are the Suns relevant on the NBA landscape whatsoever?
You're talking about guys that have played this game at an incredibly high level. They're playing hard for Alvin Gentry. Are they playing smart? I don't think so. Could it come together? Yeah, it could. You're 1 game away. You never know when that game's going to be, when the light bulb collectively goes off. Is it likely? Is it probable? Probably not. That's the difference.
Doug and Wolf, mornings 5 to 9, Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here.
This is Jason Johnson. I am on location here at Harbor Freight Jewel's incredible parking lot sale. I got to tell you, it's pretty wild here. The sale is going on right now through Sunday. There are thousands of items that have been discounted as much as 76%. There's a guy walking past me here with a huge bag. Sir, what do you have in there?
It's a 4.5-inch angle grinder.
How much was it?
$9.99. It's half off.
It's like they're giving these tools away. Hey, what's that?
That's a 4-piece tongue and groove joint plier set.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I saved $5. Cost me $9.99.
That's amazing. Sir, what do you have in the box there?
It's a 500-watt portable halogen shop light. It was like $8.99. Couldn't believe it.
With deals like this and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, I can see why so many people are grabbing these unheard-of deals. Stop by Harbor Freight this weekend and get these great deals while they last. Harbor Freight Tools in Phoenix, Phoenix Northeast, Mesa, Glendale, Tempe, and Apache Junction.
Harbor Freight Tools, the right tool for every job. And a shipload of savings, too.
Breaking sports news first. Guaranteed. Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here. D-backs baseball. Sports 620 KTAR.
A reminder, rent a D-backs luxury suite for any day game in April and receive $500 off the regular price, plus get free use of a Chase Field meeting space with any suite rental. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. A couple of changes for the D-backs as we go to the ninth, as Pedro Siriaco will take over at shortstop, and the new pitcher is right-hander Highland Peguero. Pitched in 7 games at the big league level last year for the D-backs, an ERA of 4.82. Most of his appearances came at AAA with Tucson. And again, the AAA club this year will be based in Reno. The Reno Aces.
That's appropriate.
Visalia changed their name too, and I can't remember what their nickname is. Well, we have a crack research staff who will get to work on it. Jody Gathright is going the distance today in center, has a hit and 4 plate appearances. And Peguero, with the corner infielders up, delivers a pitch swung on and fouled off to the left out of play. Bad news, Mr. Candiotti, the Gales did not make it.
As far as you know.
As far as we know. But we do know both the Arizona Pac-10 schools got into the NCAA tournament. Yes, indeed, the Cats, for the 25th consecutive year, are in. They are a 12 seed in the Midwest Regional, and they'll play 5th-seeded Utah on Friday in Miami. A swing and a miss by Gathright, 0-2. And Herb Sendek's Sun Devils got a 6th seed. And I don't remember hearing what region, but they will play 11th-seeded Temple on Friday. So there you go.
I am caught up.
And we have our research staff working to see if the Gales got in. Breaking pitch is outside to Gathright, a ball and 2 strikes. Clay Zavada came in, retired the only man he faced on a ground ball to second. Peguero out of a stretch with the bases empty. The 1-2 is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4th appearance of the spring for Peguero. 4 innings of work, 4 earned runs. Right-hander sets and delivers 2-2 to Gathright, and it's lined back through the middle, and a diving stop by the shortstop Siriaco, and his throw is too late. I thought that ball was going to get out, and Siriaco made a great play.
Well, he really did, really going to his left, dove. That ball looked for sure like it was going to go through the center of the diamond into center field. You know, and probably would have got a lot of runners, but Gathright really runs hard and runs fast, and he did beat it out.
So he's aboard at first. There's that speed of Gathright, which obviously catches the attention of Lou Piniella. And the batter will be Darwin Barney, who took over at short for Terrio. Peguero sets. Roberts even with the bag at third, and a pitch is outside to Barney, ball 1.
I don't remember Peguero with the way he comes set before he throws the ball from the stretch. He's got a lot of K-Rod in him, you know, where he was like way open up. Now with the guy at first base, he doesn't do that. He's kind of squared up, and there he goes again. Well, he's very open, which makes him be able to throw the ball to first base, you know, rather quickly and be quick that way. But also, it takes a little bit longer to deliver the ball to the plate.
And you need to be as quick as you can with a guy like Gathright on the base paths.
The only guy I've seen, you know, come to the stretch like this, open up, is Ben K-Rod.
And Gathright goes. The pitch is high. The throw to second, not in time. Second stolen base of the day for Jody Gathright. Joey Gathright in there. And again, the tremendous speed that he possesses pays off there. And now he's in scoring position.
Well, he got a good jump out there. And, you know, one of his assets is his running game. So, you know, when he gets an opportunity at first base, he's going to try to steal as many bases as he can. That was a bang-bang play at second base. They almost got him.
The count 1-1 to Barney, and Peguero's pitch is one hopper backhanded by Whitesell, who'll take it to the bag himself on the play. Gathright has to hold at second, one down in the inning.
Yeah, the reason he had to hold at second base there is he wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught on the line or not. And he did a nice job hitting behind the runner, hitting the ball to the opposite side so he could advance, but, you know, it just wasn't an easy ground ball. It was kind of a semi-line drive, and Whitesell, you know, kind of short-hopped it.
Now Micah Hoffpower started the day in left field, moved to first, has a 3-run homer on his resume. And Peguero delivers to him outside, ball one. 7-4 Cubs, top of the ninth, with Gathright at second and one out. Peguero looks at second, works the plate 1-0, and Hoffpower takes low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Both teams scored 3 runs in the third inning. Diamondbacks broke the tie with a run in the sixth. Cubs grabbed the lead with a 4-run eighth. Peguero with the 2-0 to Hoffpower, and it swung on and fouled off to the left out of play. This copyrighted broadcast presented by the authority of the Arizona Diamondbacks and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Arizona Diamondbacks and Major League Baseball.
Well, you read that so well. I think you should have a spot doing that every game.
I'd be happy to. I'm big on legalities. Well, there's an opening. Gathright breaks for third. The pitch is a strike. The throw to third, and Gathright is safe. 5th stolen base of the spring. Third today.
Well, Gathright made up his mind as soon as he got to first base. He was going to run.
And now, with the count 3-1 on Hoffpower and a runner at third with one out, the infield will play up. You know, and the count should be 2-2, I beg your pardon.
You know, look how tough it is, you know, when you're facing a team that's got a guy like Gathright that can steal those bases. And he does. He turns he's on first base. Now he's on third base ready to score.
And he's got a chance to, as there's a fly ball down the left field line. If it stays in play, going toward the railing is Watson, and he runs out of room.
Boy, what an asset it is to have speed and be able to steal bases.
You don't have to burn up outs to get him around. Makes all the difference in the world.
And also, I think he felt a little bad because once he got to second base, you know, they hit behind him, but he didn't get to third base because that short hop line drive that was fielded by Whitesell. So he said, I'll just steal third now.
Then the 2-2 to Hoffpower is a ground ball to the right side. But Skelton playing in. Has it, throws to first, and Gathright has to stay at third, 2 down in the inning. And that will leave it up to Brad Snyder. Snyder homered in the 8th inning, the first of back-to-back home runs, as Fontenot followed with a round tripper. Left-handed batter facing the right-handed pitching Highland Peguero, who delivers, and it's high and outside, ball one. Gathright at third, 2 down, 9th inning, 7-4 Cubs. Peguero's 1-0, taken for a strike. Now Peguero ready, looks over at Gathright at third, the 1-1, and that's outside to Snyder, 2 balls and a strike. Listening to Greg talk with Dave Van Dyke earlier in the game, and we talked about it as well, the fact that the Cubs go into the season, just about everybody's picked to win the NL Central.
Everybody but the Cubs.
Yeah, well, that's true. The 2-1 is a ground ball right side. Skelton was playing very deep in the hole, drops the ball for a moment, throws too late. The ball went off his glove, and it allows Gathright to score from third to make it 8-4 Chicago. And it's a base hit for Snyder.
And again, that's what that speed does for you. You know, they basically stole a run right there.
And for Snyder, 2 RBI on the day. Andres Blanco will get his first at bat after taking over its second last half inning from Mike Fontenot.
Yeah, you look at the National League Central, and you know, I really believe, and you know, even talked with Greg, that the Cubs probably are not as stacked as they were last year. They lost a lot of guys, but you look at the rest of that division; they're head and heels over the Cardinals. They're head and heels over the Astros, Brewers.
There's a liner up the middle and through, a base hit for Blanco. Snyder to second, he'll hold there, and the inning continues for So Taguchi.
So you really don't know where the challenge to the Cubs is going to come from right now.
I just don't think the Reds are far enough down the road to make a serious charge. And when you think about it, you start looking at the divisions, the 6 divisions in baseball. Mets and Phillies, maybe the Braves, maybe the Marlins will battle it out in the National League East, the National League West, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Maybe, if everything fell the right way, the Giants could push them a little bit.
Well, the Rockies and the Padres certainly don't think that. Can't see them being in the mix of things.
No, I don't. I agree with you. I don't see that either. There's a pitch loaded to Taguchi, ball 1. American League West, that's pretty much the Angels' division to win or lose, don't you think?
I agree with you there. I mean, who's going to challenge them? Maybe the A's. Maybe have a chance, you know, more so than the Rangers and the Mariners.
They've certainly bulked up the roster a great deal, getting Matt Holliday in, among others. Snyder at second. Blanco at first. The 1-0 to Taguchi is a check swing, strike 1-1. AL Central. I never hear people talk about the AL Central.
Well, the Twins and the Indians, you know, and the White Sox, those three seem like they're going up and down. You know, the Twins right now with Mauer being the way he is right now.
Yeah.
You know, that's that'll make a big difference. But, you know, I got to think it's just the Twins right now. But right there with them are going to be the Indians and the White Sox. I don't think Detroit's there. I know Kansas City's not there.
Yeah.
Although you'll get some arguments from people about Kansas City, but I still think they have a lot of question marks.
I agree with you. They're getting better, but they got a ways to go. The 1-2 to Taguchi is inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Be real interesting to see how much of a difference 2 guys in particular, DeRosa, Kerry Wood, make for the Indians. And if you remember, they went on a torrid pace in September. It was after they were just out of it. They made it interesting, but they didn't have much of a shot at closing the gap. 2-2 pitch is a little soft liner into center that's going to drop in for a base hit. Snyder turns third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's up the line. An RBI single for So Taguchi makes it 9-4 Chicago. And on the play, Blanco takes second.
Taguchi, just a nice, easy swing at that. Just stung it right back up the middle. And you're going to get a little visit right now from Brian Price.
And in a moment, Ty Wright, who is one of the minor leaguers brought over for today's game, will climb in as the pinch hitter.
These are the innings that Brian Price, you know, Bob Melvin, they don't want to see from a guy like Pagero. You know, a guy that's got some experience, and you know, you put him at the end of a game right now when you're facing a lot of AA and AAA players, even though Taguchi's been in the big leagues. For the most part, you know, you got to get a lot of these guys out.
So here is Wright. He is 0 for 1 with the Cubs in spring training. First and second, 2 down, 2 runs in, 9-4 Chicago, and a pop-up foul down the right field line that will get out of play.
You know, I think it was an interesting division. I've been reading Baseball America, believe it or not, and you know, it comes down to Tampa Bay. You know, they got the Red Sox, then they got the Yankees, and they got Tampa Bay. And I look at Tampa Bay, you know, pretty good season last year. Get to the World Series.
Great season.
And all of a sudden now you fall behind the Red Sox and you fall behind the Yankees. And to me, they've only gotten better. They'll have that, David Price for the whole season.
I was just going to say.
They added, Pat Burrell. I think it's going to help them out a lot.
The one thing that they did not have last year that they will have this year during the regular season is David Price, and we saw what he could do in the postseason. A chopper up the middle, and it goes past both Siriaco and Skelton in the center field for a base hit. Turning third and scoring is Blanco. To second is Taguchi. An RBI single for right, 10-4 Chicago in the ninth inning.
Cubs really doing a good job hitting the ball at the center of the diamond. Keeping that ball in play. Once you get that ball by the pitcher, you got a great chance of getting a base hit.
Now Wellington Castillo, who homered into the Diamondbacks bullpen in left field. His last time up, and Peguero delivers to him in there for a strike 0-1. I agree with you about Tampa Bay for this reason. What is it we always say? Pitching wins, and they got a lot of it. The 0-1 is low and away. Nice block by Carlin, a ball and a strike to Castillo. Unless I'm wrong, James Shields and Scott Kazmir are still there.
Yeah, they're still there, no doubt about it. They got good arms down there. There's no question about it. But I think people fall in love with the Yankees because they spent a lot of money on CC Sabathia and A.J. Burnett and all that stuff.
The 1-1 is a check swing on the inside corner, a strike called. 1-2 to Castillo. I thought at the time, and when he's healthy, he's a fabulous pitcher, but with his history of injury problems, I thought the money that the Yankees gave to Burnett was an awful lot. Breaking pitch is strike 3 called to Castillo, and the inning is over. But the Cubs get 3 runs on 5 hits. No errors. They lead 2. We go to the bottom of the ninth in Tucson, 10-4 Chicago.
My business used to be all over the place. Checking account for tax payments here, another account for merchant services there, and a credit card for air miles someplace else. Then I talked with Desert Schools Federal Credit Union. They helped me streamline my business needs into one location. Now, I've got time to be more hands-on, doing what I love. Thanks, Desert Schools.
Desert Schools offers real solutions for your business. No prepayment penalties, better rates, and local decisions. Today, tomorrow, together. To learn more, click desertschools.org.
Accounts insured by the NCUA. This goes out to you, McDonald's McRib sandwich. I missed you, you saucy, succulent thing. I missed your tender pork, your pickles, your onions, your everything. I missed you even more every day. I missed you so much, I only wish you could stay. Just the mention of your name, my heart skips. I welcome you back with open hands and moistened lips. McRib is back for only $1.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Limited time offer. Prices and participation may vary.
Peanuts, popcorn, hot dogs, great baseball treats in their own right, but alone they just don't have what it takes to satisfy a crowd of heated-up Arizona Diamondbacks fans. They need something extra, something like the taste of ice-cold Pepsi. Only Pepsi has the cold, irresistible refreshment that can cool down a D-backs fan on a hot summer day. A Diamondbacks game without a Pepsi is like a pitcher without a baseball. So grab your concessions and don't forget plenty of ice-cold Pepsi. Pepsi and Diamondbacks baseball. Always a good call.
Get discounted seating in the baseline box section with the D-backs Pick 6 Premium Pack. Save big on premium seating when you bundle 6 games together. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Before we go to the bottom of the ninth, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
All sports, all the time. Home of D-backs, Suns, Cards, and ASU. Sports 620 KTAR Phoenix. It's all here.
10-4 Cubs, along with Tom Candiotti, Jeff Munn at Tucson Electric Park. And the Cubs will bring on right-hander Jose Escancio out of Maracay, Venezuela. Pitched in 6 games at the big league level last year for the Cubs. Spent the rest of the year with AAA Iowa. Pedro Siriaco, who took over last half inning at short, leads it off, takes a strike called. Escancio makes his 5th appearance of the spring. 4 innings, no earned runs. Siriaco, 7 for 18. Right-hander delivers outside. A ball and a strike to Siriaco.
As I read through here, too, it says the Yankees have spent $423.5 million this offseason.
There's a ground ball to the left side that gets underneath the glove of the shortstop Barney into left field. A base hit for Siriaco. That's how we start the bottom of the ninth.
It seems like this now the last 3 innings with the Cubs, they have really hit the ball.
Yeah.
They have really stung the ball.
4-run 8th, 3-run 9th.
They got 14 hits right now.
There's a thing about the Yankees. You were mentioning the money that they spent. There's a pitch inside to Roberson, ball 1. I do think that A.J. Burnett, I'll say this again, when he's healthy, he's really good. But you always have to be a little bit concerned about a guy that has a track record of breaking down. Pitch inside, 2 balls, no strikes. CC Sabathia, that's one thing. That guy takes the ball every 5th day no matter what.
Yeah, I think the big key for the Yankees is going to be that Joba Chamberlain.
The runner goes. The pitch is a strike called on the outside corner and no throw from Castillo. So that'll be good old defensive indifference.
We'll see if Joba can handle the starting rotation or not, over the course of a full season.
The 2-1 is fouled back. It's been a long time now. I mean, you're going back to the mid-'90s. But what really got the Yankees back among the elite teams in baseball was when they went through that rough period in the early 90s, and they drafted all that talent and let them develop. Ground ball foul outside of first. 2-2 to Roberson. Guys like Jeter and Bernie Williams and Jorge Posada, Mariano Rivera. That's all through the farm system. Andy Pettit. And it's great to see the Yankees be so competitive and try to go out and win, but there's a downside to it. The 2-2 is a swing and a liner into left center that's going to get down for a base hit for Roberson. Siriaco turns third. He'll score on an RBI single from Chris Roberson to make it 10-5 in the 9th inning.
Boy, nice job of hitting by Chris Roberson. He stayed inside that ball, hitting from the left side, and just nailed that ball right over the shortstop's head out to left center field. That was pretty.
Well, Roberson is 4th RBI of the spring, and now Brandon Watson, who took over in left field. Connor Jackson started in left today. Roberson goes. The pitch is high and outside. No throw from Castillo. And again, defensive indifference. Ten runs, 14 hits, 1 error for the Cubs, 5-8-1 for the D-backs. Nobody out in the 9th. A strike called to Watson, 1-1. Now the set in the 1-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back. We haven't even gotten to opening day, but I think David Van Dyke was absolutely on target when he said that there are going to be an awful lot of candidates, both leagues, and especially in the National, for the wild card because only one team can finish first. You've got the Mets and Phillies, the Braves and the Marlins in the mix in the East. Diamondbacks and Dodgers in the West. There's a foul off to the left out of play. And if the Cardinals have everything break the right way, the wild card could be probably the most competitive race of any of the 4 postseason races when we get to September. Maybe. 1-2's high and outside.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. I really do. And I think that's what, if you're even in the National League West, that's one of the things you're looking at right now. If you don't win the division, you look in there and I don't see the Cardinals being up there. I don't see the Astros. I don't see the Reds. I don't even see the Brewers. In that division right there. But the other division, I think the Mets and the Phillies are going to be very strong. Even the Marlins. I think those 3 clubs are going to do. Yeah, I'm not really all the way sold on the Braves yet, but I think they have improved. But they're in a very, very tough division there with the Marlins and the Mets and the Phillies.
Estancio's 3-2 is a fly ball down the right field line. That ball is foul. Watson got a hold of it, just couldn't keep it in play.
See, I really don't see that wild card team coming out of the National League Central, as everything is right now.
Because, I mean, it's like we said, who behind the Cubs? The Astros? Don't think so. Brewers? They lost so much, and they knew going in that Sabathia was going to walk, Sheets would be gone. Cardinals, just question marks aplenty. Pirates a long way away. The Reds are putting the pieces together, but they need a little more time. Another 3-2. Watson looks at one low. He's aboard. And so the Diamondbacks' first three hitters in the ninth all reach. Back-to-back singles and a walk to Watson. And that'll bring up James Skelton. Skelton today going the distance at second base. 2 for 4, pair of singles. And he's got first and second with nobody out, and his club down 5 here. And he takes strike one called on the outside corner from Estancia.
Anyway, you know, Money, a lot of this crowd has stayed here this whole game.
It's a nice day. Why not?
It's thinned out a little bit, but a lot of people still here.
Pitch tails in, 2 balls and no strikes to Skelton. Crowd 11,455. Roberson at second. Watson at first. A little fly ball into left center. Coming on for it is Snyder. Makes a running catch. The throw to second on Roberson is too late. So no advance by the runners. 1 out in the inning for Luke Carlin. Carlin took over the catching chores for Chris Snyder. And he's going to get a little bit extra look here now with Miguel Montero away. If you are not aware, Miguel's father passed away, and so Miguel has gone home to Venezuela. As the pitch is upstairs to Carlin, ball 1, and Bob Melvin has said he can have all the time he needs. Understandably so. Carlin came into the day 3 for 9. Takes upstairs, and it gets away from Castillo, and the runners will advance. Roberson to third, Watson to second. And a wild pitch charged to Jose Estancia.
Well, I think over the last two innings or so, plus innings, you're starting to see a lot of sloppy baseball going on, and mostly from the pitching side of it. Guys leaving the pitch, you know, balls up in the zone, and hitters been capitalized on it. They're just not making good quality pitches.
The starters, Webb for the Diamondbacks, Harden for the Cubs, both sharp in the early going. Pitch low. Harden did give up 3 runs in the 3rd inning. And Webb gave up 3 as well, but boy, the first 2 innings, they were opening day ready. 3-0 to Carlin with first base open, 1 out in the inning. And he takes a strike at the knees. 10-5 Cubs. Roberson at third, Watson at second, 1 down. Estancia sets, looks at second. The 3-1 to Carlin is swung on and missed. John Hester in the on-deck circle with the pitcher's spot to follow. Carlin, left-handed batter, awaits the 3-2. Here it is, and it's a ground ball right side. Waiting for it is Blanco, throws to first in time. On the play, Roberson scores from third. Watson moves from second to third. It's 10-6 Cubs. And the Diamondbacks are down to their last out.
Hester seems to be getting quite a bit of playing time here, with this last week or so.
2 for 8 as a hitter. But he has appeared in 9 games, as you said. And so here he is with a runner at third and 2 down in the 9th inning. And Ascancio delivers a pitch low and in, ball 1. D-backs will be here tomorrow. They'll take on Colorado. The set, and there's a strike thrown by Ascancio. 1-1. Hester, a 13th round pick of the Diamondbacks in 06, played at Mobile last year at AA. Hit .268, 11 home runs, 49 runs batted in. And was 4th best in the Southern League at throwing out potential base stealers. Breaking ball is inside, 2-1. Off the campus of Stanford University.
Smart guy.
Yep. Nice ballpark, too.
You love that ballpark.
That's a pitcher's ballpark. There must be like 24 acres of foul territory in that place. No wonder they get all those good pitchers there.
Well, it's such a pretty place to play.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. A nice setting.
Here's the 2-1. Hester fouls one back. Ryan Roberts on deck if Hester can keep it going here in the 9th. Diamondbacks have played at 2. They trail at 10-6. With Watson at third, 2 down. And the Cub fans, and there are a few of them here, trying to help Ascancio to the finish line. The 2-2 to Hester is taken low. Three and 2 to Hester. Watson at third. 2 down, 9th inning. And Ascancio's pitch is swung on a little fly ball into shallow center, and that is going to drop in front of the center fielder Gath Wright for a base hit. Watson scores. An RBI single for Hester, and as soon as he hit the bag, Lou Piniella was up off his chair, motioning to the bullpen.
And I don't think Lou really wanted to have to make a pitching change right now at this stage of the game, but he's seen enough.
I would tend to agree. But change he will. David Patton, a left-hander, will come on. I beg your pardon, he's a right-hander. Either way, we're going to take a break. Bottom of the 9th, 2 down, a runner at first. It's 10-7 Cubs. And we're back after this on the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
Wouldn't it be great to swing a golf club with no pain or stiffness and increase your distance? In just a few visits, Dr. Paul Pinozo can alleviate your pain and restore your full range of motion. He provides expert care for sports injuries, but also has highly successful treatment for muscle, nerve, bone pain, and spinal injuries. 90% of his patients are treated in about 2 weeks' time and are satisfied with the outcome. Dr. Paul Pinozo won't hand you a prescription for a bunch of narcotics to dull the symptoms. He heals your pain and injuries with a combination of physical and other therapies, including decompression treatment. He has locations in both the East and West Valley. Call Dr. Paul Pinozo, 623-776-8686. He's had a 95% success rate. With one phone call, you could be back on the par 3, pain-free after just 4 visits. Call Dr. Paul Pinozo at 623-776-8686. That's 623-776-8686.
A baseball field tells stories. Stories of young heroes who play with heart and an unbreakable bond that's thousands strong. See the next great chapter as the D-backs season unfolds. Get 10 tickets plus a prize food stores gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. Presented by Gila River Casinos.
D-backs baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Right-hander David Patton will attempt to do what Jose Ascancio could not. and that is close this game out. Scanio went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. And the right-hander Patton will go after Ryan Roberts here with a runner at first and 2 down in the 9th and a pitch inside, ball 1. Patton, Cubs got him from Cincinnati. Cincinnati drafted him in Rule 5, and a day later they traded him for cash. There's a pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Roberts. Tell you what, if Patton loses Roberts, Mount Pinella is going to explode. And we'll all be here to see it. The 2-0 is on the inside corner for a strike.
And this is one of the reasons why a lot of clubs don't take their frontline players down to the games in Tucson. Long game like this, and you got a long ride back, and some guys need treatment, they need therapy, to get going, and that's why a lot of the big stars don't come down here.
Swing and a miss by Roberts, and the count 2-2. Didn't see Derek Lee today. Didn't see Alfonso Soriano.
Ramos Ramirez.
Yep, but to this point, Cubs didn't need him. The 2-2, low and outside, a full count. So if he chooses, and no doubt he will, Hester will be off on the 3-2 pitch. It's a great point. That's part of the challenge the Diamondbacks face now down here is the Lone Ranger at TEP. Hester goes, the 3-2 swung on and missed, and that will be that. It took 3 hours and 15 minutes. The Cubs get a 10-7 win. D-backs in the 9th, 3 runs, 3 hits. No errors, a man left. 10-7 our final. We'll be right back.
Do you work in the piping industry as a certified pipe welder, licensed plumber, or service technician? I'm Jim Dinan, and my company was founded here in Phoenix. We're among the more than 80 piping contractors that employ the highly skilled and trained craft persons from Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 469. Our manpower is paid a fair wage for a fair day's work, with health insurance and 2 pensions. Does your employer pay your benefits? If they don't, you need to visit ualocal469.org. Not all contractors in Phoenix are unscrupulous and unsafe. Visit ualocal469.org.
Hi, folks. This is Greg Schulte, and I'm here with Mark Asher. Now, Mark, I'm glad you're here because I just saw your name come across the wire in a possible trade.
Well, Greg, the trade rumors are true. I've just traded up to another new Legends Cadillac, and it's the best move I've made all season.
Mark, I couldn't agree more because we've traded in several vehicles and have always been more than happy with the fantastic savings and personal customer service.
Folks, take a moment to look out at your driveway. And if you're not happy with your family's automotive lineup, then we invite you to trade up to a Legends vehicle, new or used. Legends has the Valley's best selection.
In fact, you could say that Legends offers today's car buyers over 500 first-round draft picks.
And what team or family wouldn't love to have a full lineup of first-round picks?
Exactly. So, folks, don't get caught up with a trade rumor. Just go ahead and trade up today.
At Legends Cadillac Hummer Saab, it's like no place else.
Legends Cadillac Hummer Saab at 7901 East Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Cadillac, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit.
The D-Back 10-Pack Plus is on sale now. Get 10 tickets plus a Fry's Food Store gift card, all for just $120. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
D-Backs Baseball, Sports 620 KTAR.
Cubs beat the D-backs here today 10-7, Candy, and we mentioned it earlier, the starting pitchers early on in this ballgame, first couple innings were razor sharp.
Yeah, I think that was the key for this. I think that's what the managers really wanted to see, how Brandon Webb was doing and how Rich Harden was going to pitch today. They both threw the ball extremely well. While they were in there, Webby a good 4 innings. Ran into a one bad pitch maybe in the 3rd inning or so, but I thought he looked like he's right on track.
Home runs were the story of the day. Mark Reynolds hit his first of the spring. That came in the 6th inning. Chris Snyder, solo home run. That came in the 3rd. The Cubs belted 4 home runs in the game, including 3 in a 4-run 8th inning that gave them the lead, and they go on to the 10-7 victory. I don't know when I'm going to see you again.
I'm not sure.
And you're not that worried about it, are you?
Not really.
Okay. Well, I understand that. I'm not either. I know I'll see you at some point.
Exactly.
Travel safe.
All right.
The final totals on this afternoon's game, the Cubs 10 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. They leave 7 runners aboard. Diamondbacks 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They also leave 7. Waddell, the winner, he's 1-0. Patton gets his first save. Newby takes the loss. He's 0-1. Time of the ball game, 3 hours, 15 minutes. The attendance, 11,455. Diamondbacks will be right back here at TEP tomorrow. They'll take on the Colorado Rockies at 1:05. They're back in the Valley on Tuesday. A split squad will face the Oakland Athletics, easy for me to say, at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. That is a 1 o'clock start. The club will be also, another split squad will be home with the White Sox Tuesday, then a home game with Milwaukee on Wednesday, off day on Thursday. They're in Tempe to take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim on Friday. Our next broadcast on the Diamondbacks Radio Network next Saturday right here from TEP. D-backs take on the Kansas City Royals. Greg and Candy will be here to tell you all about it with our broadcast coverage getting underway at 1 p.m. Once again, the final score, Cubs 10, Diamondbacks 7. Now, for Greg Schulte, Tom Candiotti, our on-site producer, engineer Leo Gilmartin, and our technical director, Jordan Bird, Jeff Munn. Thanks so much for being with us. Once again, Cubs win it today over the Diamondbacks 10-7. You've been listening to Arizona Diamondbacks Spring Training Baseball on the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
You've been listening to Arizona Diamondbacks Spring Training Baseball.
Struck him out, swung it. Deep drive to left. That's going to go. And this one's gone. Third homer.
This is Arizona Diamondbacks Baseball on the Arizona Diamondbacks Radio Network.
Get into the swing of things with Spring Training Baseball at Peoria Sports Complex. With a family-friendly environment, including a kids zone, fast pitch, and home run derby, there is fun for children of all ages. With tickets starting at just $6, you and the kids can watch Major League Ball without the Major League price. Tickets are on sale now, so mention this ad at the ticket window and receive a free hot dog with coupon while supplies last. Visit PeoriaAZ.gov/spring training. That's PeoriaAZ.gov/spring training. Come see Spring Training Baseball at Peoria Sports Complex today. Times are tough, and family entertainment can be expensive. Peoria Sports Complex has your economic relief package waiting for you. Bring the family out to the ballpark and enjoy Spring Training Baseball for just $30. $30. That gets you 4 hot dogs, 4 small sodas, 4 bags of chips, and 4 lawn seats for just $30 every Monday. For more great deals, daily promotions, and discounted packages, visit Peoria Sports Complex online at PeoriaAZ.gov/spring training. Get in the game.
AutoZone. When's the last time you changed your oil? Get in the zone. AutoZone knows keeping your car on a regular oil change schedule can help keep contaminants from bringing your engine performance down. And right now at AutoZone, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GPX motor oil and a Fram Extra Guard oil filter for just $15.99. See store for restrictions and details. So, if you're looking for optimal performance from your engine and your wallet, get to AutoZone today. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
When you've got H&R Block doing your taxes, you've got $1,123 my old tax guy missed.
$998 I missed when I did them myself. $2,583. And that's just in federal.
$5,781.
An extra $1,456 in missed deductions.
I just can't afford to take chances anymore. That's why I've got people.
With H&R Block, you've got people with the expertise to find you every single penny you've got coming. So who's doing your taxes? Get people. Call 1-800-HR-BLOCK or visit hrblock.com to make an appointment today.
This is Jason Johnson. I am on location here at Harbor Freight Tools' incredible parking lot sale. I got to tell you, it's pretty wild here. The sale is going on right now through Sunday. There are thousands of items that have been discounted as much as 76%. There's a guy walking past me here with a huge bag. Sir, what do you have in there?
It's a 4.5-inch angle grinder.
How much was it?
$9.99. It's half off.
It's like they're giving these tools away. Hey, what's that?
It's a 4-piece tongue and groove joint plier set.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I saved $5. Cost me $9.99.
That's amazing. Sir, what do you have in the box there?
It's a 500-watt portable halogen shop light. It was like $8.99. Couldn't believe it.
With deals like this and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, I can see why so many people are grabbing these unheard-of deals. Stop by Harbor Freight this weekend and get these great deals while they last. Harbor Freight Tools in Phoenix, Phoenix Northeast, Mesa, Glendale, Tempe, and Apache Junction.
Harbor Freight Tools, the right tool for every job. And a shipload of savings, too.
All sports, all the time. Home of D-backs, Suns, Card, and ASU. Sports 620, KTAR Phoenix. It's all here. You've been listening to Arizona Diamondbacks Baseball. We now join ESPN Radio, already in progress, on Sports 620 KTAR.
To Buffalo, 1 year, $6.5 million.
One thing I don't think T.O. is dumb. I think he's going to realize he really needs to
for lack of a better term, fly straight here if he wants a deal after this, because it is a one-year deal. He's playing for the money next year.
He will absolutely help their offense. They're going about it the right way. Short term, they'll control him. They will not allow T.O. to control them.
The talk of ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com. This is your exclusive home for ESPN Radio. Sports 620 KTAR. It's all here. SportsCenter presents the 2009 Selection Sunday Special on ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com. Here's John Seibel.
The play-in game always takes place at University of Dayton Arena, and that will be Alabama State against Morehead State, and then there will be some first-round games played on that same floor. For the first time in a while, the team that calls that place home is going to be in the dance as well. The Dayton Flyers in the 11th seed going to be taking on West Virginia and the 6th seed. And for more on the Flyers, let's go to the Subway Fresh Take Hotline and welcome in their head coach, Brian Gregory. Coach, congratulations on being the big dance. The University of Dayton has a rich history going back to the Don Donaher days and even before that. What does it mean to you to get this proud program back into the tournament?
Well, John, it means a lot. You know, it's been our second year now where we've had, you know, all the guys that we've recruited. Because my first year we had a great team, and we needed to kind of regroup and get some other players in here and so forth, and it's been great, you know. And we had 23 games last year, and the 26 this year have put us in a position where, you know, I think our program's really on solid ground, and I think our guys all year long worked extremely hard. Never really talked about, hey, we want to make the NCAA tournament. It was more, let's get better every day. Let's play with great intensity and energy. And they're well rewarded today. And so I feel great for the program, feel great for our guys, great for this community. As you know, what an unbelievable support night in and night out we get at UD Arena, and so it's a great step in this process that we're building on here.
Yeah, Dick Vitale calls the University of Dayton Arena one of the greatest home court advantages in all of college basketball. It's a magnificent atmosphere there. This has been a historic season for you, Coach. First time you've ever run the table at home, undefeated, and 26 wins. That's a school record as well. But bringing you back down to earth, you got to go up against West Virginia. But the silver lining here is that's a Bob Huggins team, and you know Bob Huggins, UD and UC go back a long ways. What do you expect to see out of the Mountaineers?
Well, you know, when you see West Virginia, obviously the first thing you think of is Coach Huggins, and I was very fortunate as an assistant at Michigan State to play against some of those great Cincinnati teams, you know, competing against them. And then my first 2 years here as the head coach at Dayton, going against Coach Huggins' team. You just think the one word you think of is toughness. They play tough. They're hard-charging, hard-nosed players that play with great grit and determination. You know, his personality is so strong that his players, you know, take that on. And gosh, they're so successful because of it. A great rebounding team, great defensive team, you know, have been through the battles of the Big East. And so, you know, we're going to have to play extremely well, and I think our guys will be excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe that super sophomore Chris Wright will be your version of Roosevelt Chapman, and the Dayton Flyers can make a run to the Elite Eight, Coach. Who knows, right?
Well, you know, Chris has had a great year for us, you know, and you know, we talk about our program. We were 14-1 last year when he broke his ankle, and you know, he ended up 9-9 the rest of the way. But you know, just he's had a great sophomore year. Was all league, you know, has played really well in some of our most important games, and you know, he's a joy to be around because of just his work ethic. And if he can have a Roosevelt Chapman type run, there's no question that this head coach would definitely take it. And it's very similar. You know, they're similar. You know, both 6'6" and can score and can do a lot of different things. Chris tells me he can jump a lot higher than Rosie could, though.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Dayton Flyers in the 11th seed going up against West Virginia in their 6th seed. Coach Gregory, congratulations on getting the Flyers back. Best of luck to you in the dance.
You got it. Thanks, John.
All right, ESPN Radio. Let's stay on this whole coaching hotline as we welcome in the Siena Saints head coach, Fran McCaffrey, going up against the 8th-seeded Ohio State Buckeyes in that same Midwest region, Coach. First off, congratulations. But then again, there's so many teams that are high on the Siena Saints. You're supposed to be here in the first place.
Well, it's interesting.
interesting, John, and I appreciate your kind words. We felt like we belonged right about where we were. I prefer not to get too obsessed with potential seeds, where you were seeded. Did you deserve the seeds you got? We knew we were in. That's the bottom line. My experience tells me the committee will give us a fair assessment of our body of work and then react accordingly, and that's what they did. The fact that it was a 9, I think, is great. It's great to talk about and say, boy, it's an honor to be a 9 and go up against a program the caliber of Ohio State. But had we been at 10 or 11, I wouldn't have been complaining. I would say, okay, that's where we belong, wherever they felt like we belong. But the thing that we did do, John, was we weren't afraid to go play people this year. And I think when it's all said and done, that's reflected in your RPI, and it's reflected in what seeds you end up getting. And I think that's why we sit here at a number 9.
Coach, I want to give you a chance to complain for a second, because you're a 9 seed. Ohio State is an 8. There shouldn't be much separation between the two, and quite honestly, between you and the Buckeyes, there's